Okay.
For those who
what we do here is go back. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I am your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. And you guys, Dingo stole my baby. So for anyone that said white dingoes, I don't think anybody did. Sorry. Anyway, hey, it's Friday, you guys. We've survived another week. Congratulations. So today we're going to do a couple different things. So we're going to continue to work on the GM Spartan, okay? And then I know we talked about kits for parts, kits specifically that you buy for kit bashing, right? So but to begin the stream, I want to talk about that a little bit because I pulled a few different kits from my backstock to show you guys kind of what I mean, right? We had a little bit of a conversation about that on the last stream. And for those of you that missed it, on the last stream, at the very, very tail end, about the last half hour or so, I gave you guys kind of like a mini tutorial on Taobao and the brokerage B. Heiner. Very, very useful. Very useful. So if you missed it, go check it out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, whatever your platform of choice, and just, you know, fast forward to about the last half hour or so. We started talking about it. I kind of took you through the various websites, showed you the kind of ins and outs and stuff like that. A couple of you contacted me, and I sent you the kind of like my list of vendors that I frequent and stuff. So if anybody is interested, just shoot me an email through my website, www.childofmecha.com. Hey, and you know what? While you're there, why don't you go pick up one of these cool ass t-shirts too, or hats, or bags. Hit the shop at the hit the shop button at the top, and that's where you'll find them. Really, just a good thing overall. I think we can agree, right? Aside from that, man, if you guys see any of these tools or anything like that, materials, all that good stuff, you want to hit some of them up, hit the Amazon link just below over here on YouTube and Twitch, this side if you're watching over there on Facebook, and then you can go find that, and then also, while you're there, peruse the books for inspiration, the camera gear for streaming, if you want to get into that, because it is a whole hell of a lot of fun, and, yeah, why don't you do that too? That makes sense. Anywho, William Wilms, look at that. He said, "Oh, my order came in today. I'm rocking that Skull Gundam hat all weekend long." Good, good. I was looking at the tracking for that last night, William, and I saw that it came into your post office over there. So good. I'm glad you got it. Glad you got it. Rock it well, my friend. Rock it well, my friend. All right. So, first things first, I finished snapping another kit for the GBWC entry last night. And I've talked about this kit. I had this kit in the backlog, so this really shouldn't be any of a big surprise for you guys, but the Johnny Ridden Zaku 2.0. Cute little guy. Solid build, I should say. Very, very nice. Now, the only disappointment was the articulation in the knee, because these humps back here really limit that articulation. But not a big deal for what I'm doing. So, really, really not concerning at all. But, you know, he's a cute little guy, right? And the reason why I say cute little guy, Bailey, little, he says. He is little. Check this out. Now, you remember the Briarlant that I showed last stream, right? The Briarlant's a 144. This is a 1/100, right? Let's get these both in frame. Yeah, like I said, this is 144. This is 1/100 scale. So you can see, this was a big boy. Like, massive, right? So, Zaku was a little guy. The Zaku was a little guy. God, as the Briarlant falls apart. Damn it. Pardon me, folks. Whatever, I'll get it later. Anywho, yeah, good, solid little build. These Zaku 2.0s are actually really, really nice. This is the first Zaku 2.0 that I've built. I built the 1.0 like way, way back in the day, and it was just, I mean, very disappointing. Let's put it that way. But again, you have to consider that it was like the first or second master grade ever produced. So it didn't age well. Let's put it that way. These 2.0s, rock solid. Rock solid. I am very, very happy. You know, you take this armor off, it has a full inner frame, massively detailed, I might add, too. The mechanism inside for the mono eye is really cool. So if you just turn the head, the mono eye has a focus camera, has a gear in it to pivot when the head turns, which is really kind of cool. So I really dig that feature, right? And then the other features that I really like are how the shoulder shield and the shoulder pauldron kind of articulate. They're kind of like on a nice little ball joint, and then they have a pivoting arm too, so it comes out like that much, and it just pivots like crazy. I know, this is not review time with Tim. I don't do reviews, but I just want to kind of give you my opinion of it, so stop it. If you guys want to see reviews, go check out Zach's channel. He does it the best. But yeah, I kind of like this little guy. So this one will be the second portion of the GBWC build. This one will not end well. Let's put it that way. It won't end well for this guy. But I'll tell you more about that in a future stream. Sometime in the future. But, very cool little master grade. Very, very cool little master grade. So, you guys, let's talk about kits for kit bashing and parts and stuff like that, because I think that's somewhat of a rare topic these days, right? As I try to clear off a spot on my desk here. we talked about it a little bit on the last stream, like I said, just a bit before, and I had mentioned some, several kits that I really kind of like for kit bashing parts, reasons, and things like that, right? So, like I said, I pulled a few of my choice kind of partsy kits, if you will. And let's just take a look at them and see kind of what I mean, right? Because when I say, build it for parts or buy it for parts, not everybody really understands, well, what do you mean, right? How's that supposed to work? So let's take a look at some things, shall we? The first kit we're going to look at is this guy right here, the 140 focus camera. Come on, what's with the camera tonight? You're killing me. The 144 Grimm Guard. Now, I should preface this by saying both the 1/100 kits and the 144 Grimm Guard are amazing kits to part out. I just happened to pull the 144. I have two other 1/100s sitting on the shelf right now waiting to be parted out. But, so, just for ease of use, the 144 is the one that I pulled. So, let's go to camera and pop the top on this bad boy. Let's pull back a little bit. Where's my tape? Oh, where's the tape? Where'd the tape go? Alright. Tape to hold the lens back so it doesn't auto zoom. There we go. New piece of tape. Now she'll hold. Alright, so we got the 144. Let's pop the top on this thing. If I can get the top off. We're going to put that off to the side. So this is a really good, cute little kit to get some parts out of. Let's put the box off to the side so we don't mess around with that. So first things first, the main part about the Grimm Guard, you guys, and let's pull this out of the bags so you guys can see past the glare. Off the bags there. Stickers. Ugh. Trash. Alright, so this runner right here alone has a ton of parts that you can use, right? Let's see where... There we go. So let's just start up in the corner here. These shoulders, the round shoulders, I mean, are just amazing to use on some other kit, right? You saw me use them on the Ozymandias, and that, I thought, I mean, just set the kit off, right? Was the shoulders. How nice and big and round they were. I mean, it just gave it that kind of, football player, American football player, linebacker look that kind of I was going for. So those right there, straight out of the gate, amazing parts. Amazing parts. This little piece right here, this little kind of crotch style arrow looking piece, another really amazing part to put on things. I cut that down and put it over the chest, underneath of the upper chest on the Ozymandias as well. And as I go through this, you're going to hear me refer to the Ozzy a lot because I use a lot of parts in this for the Ozzy. Right here, the back skirt, again, this is another good one. You can transplant this and put that on as a back skirt to something else. You can cut these down and use the individual sides for some thing or whatever. You can put this on a shield and decorate the front of a shield or something like that, or extend the point of a shield, whatever, right? You've got the little rabbit ears from the head, and I use those. I use these 144 style rabbit ears, for lack of a better term, on the Ozzy as well. Those turned out great. I really love the look of them. The 1/100s were too big when I tested them out, so I went with 144 scale, and it just fit. It fit perfectly. These two arm shields here, again, man, These are great. You can cut these down if you want. That's kind of what I did to use as the side skirts for the Aussie. But you can keep them intact. You can put them on some other mobile suits kind of arms, or hell, you can put them on the side skirts or something. Put them on a backpack. It's kind of like binders or something like that. Who knows? Sky's the limit, right? Two other really, really good parts. Moving over here, these here are the forearms. Now, the forearms as a whole aren't really, you know, an ideal part, but what makes them really good are the raised bits right here, these kind of trapezoidal little pieces right here, 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 and here. You cut that out, and man, you got little greeblies for days, right? So those are really good parts as well. Top of the head, this little teardrop shape here, man, this is really cool. You can put that on, you know, maybe like a backpack, or accentuate another master grade helmet or head or whatever. You know, put it on the chest of something, whatever, you know. Really good one there too. Kind of got this nice little collar here you can use. This is the chest piece. Use that on the Aussie as well. These two little, I think these are the knee. I think these are the knee guards. Great pieces there. And then up in the corner here, these are the side skirts. Man, you can use those again on master grade forearms or something like that. Side skirts, backpacks, whatever. Sky's the limit, right? Use your imagination. But these are great parts to use on something else. Same thing with these here, man. You can put these as like elbow guards. You know, you can put them on the back side of the elbow, and then the two kind of like side wings will protect the elbow mechanisms and stuff like that. That would be great for kind of like kind of a medieval knight-looking mobile suit if you want to make something like that. Really, really good. Same thing goes for these here, these upper leg parts too. Man, you can put those on shins, on forearms, whatever. So just this one runner has so many options that you can part out and make other things with. And it's just, this kit, along with its 100 counterpart, is so great in that aspect, right? You've got the little D runner here. These parts here, these are like the Shin Guards. Again, you can put these on forearms, other shins. You can put these on backpacks, the whole 9 yards. These little vent style things here, these are really cool. And then the upper arms, which are just kind of rounded cylinders. I use those on the Aussie as well. And they just look really, really good, right? So that right there, you know, you have two runners in a kit that has two main runners and then like 3 or 4 kind of miniature runners. I mean, you've already got 2 right there in the bag that you can just go hog wild on, right? So this is what? This is the B runner here. This is weapons and internals and things. Man, again, a lot of parts you can use in here. You can get really mechanical with some of these things. Let's see here. You can reutilize a lot of the gun parts and stuff. The swords, especially these little guys. You know, if you're building a 1/100, these would be really cool for kind of like 2 short swords. Excuse me. A la Spartacus, if you guys remember that Stars show with Andy Whitfield, rest in peace. But then also Ian McIntyre did a respectable job as Spartacus, but a great show overall. I digress. But Spartacus used 2 little short swords, so that would be cool for a 1/100 scale model. You know, shrink those down. That would be really, really neat. You've got a lot of, excuse me, got a lot of pivoting points, a lot of joint mechanisms in here that you can utilize for other things, especially, you know, the main kind of body unit right here. You can use that as something, maybe in a backpack or something like that. You've got these kind of forearm internals here. You can kind of cut these down and reshape those to use as maybe like external detail, maybe like on a weapon or a backpack or something like that, right? So really cool stuff there. Same thing with the kind of these, I think these are the forearm, kind of the inner forearm maybe, I don't know, or maybe the backside, I don't know. But anyway, these here as well, these kind of, they have hoses and stuff like that. Really cool different parts that you can utilize there too. So you've got that, you've got this runner, you've got this runner, you got these two runners that we talked about, polycaps of course, and then you've got this little miniature white runner with a couple hoses that you can use. These are plastic obviously, so they're hard pointed, and then you've got these cool little thingies here which you can just use as detail for something else, right? So all in all, for a 144 scale kit, you've got massive amounts of parts here that you can utilize in some other model and just trick it out, right? So, guys, first kit in my selection for parts and kit bashing, 144 and 1/100 scale Grimm Guard. Go get you some of these, okay? So, what else? The other one that you guys heard me talk about extensively last stream was this guy right here. The Gaplant. This guy. For my money, for about 20 bucks, this kit is worth its weight in gold. I kid you not. I kid you not. Let's pop the top off this thing, and I'm going to show you what I mean here really, really quick. You're going to start to see the value of this kit for parts, because there's a lot of parts, right? And this is not a small kit either. I mean, you saw the 144 Grimm Guard. That's how much you get with this 144 Gaplant. So this is a big boy too, in the same vein as the Briarlant. This has a ton to it, right? So straight off the bat, we got to talk about this big, just this big booster, right? Let's open this bad boy up and take a look at this thing, because this is massive, this thing. So this is the runner that you get in hands, you know, hands for scale, and also there you go, Johnny Ridden Zaku 2. This booster is taller than the Johnny Ridden Zaku. That shows you how big this thing is. Massive, right? So if you're tricking out like a big mech, like a Sazabi or an O or a Zeong or something along those lines, or even if you're tricking out something a little bit smaller, say a Sinanju or a Jesta or what have you, you strap a set of these, two of these on the back of your mech's backpack, and that's gonna look like it's going to the moon, right? So what I would say is get a pair of these kits. I got 3 of them, and yeah, this one thing, this one runner is just kind of incredible. So there you go. That one thing right there, I mean, probably sold the kit for me. Just the booster. But I was extremely surprised when I got the kit and I saw the rest of the goodies held within the box. Again, stickers, trash. So this is the A runner. I don't know if my voice is gonna hang in there tonight, you guys. So this is the A runner. Straight out of the gate, look at all these red thrusters, these thruster bells that you get. All of these nice, different sized thruster bells. I love them all. You get individuals, you get different sizes, you get different shapes. These two here are more cylindrical. I really kind of dig those because they don't flare. They're just kind of straight and they taper down a little bit, right? You've got pairs of thruster bells here too, which are really, really nice to use. You've got this big Mamma Jamma thruster bell right here. That's probably, excuse me, that's about 22 millimeters in diameter. So that's big. That's pretty big. And then you've got this really cool and unique triangular vent right here. That if you had a pair of them, you can go hog on them and go crazy with some sort of weird backpack or some sort of, you know, thing on the lower back legs or something like that. Just stupid crazy. You can go with this particular vent, right? Some of these other parts here, these shapes here that go together, these would be cool on a backpack or shield or something like that. This in front of the chest here would be a nice addition to some sort of mobile suit with maybe, you know, kind of a pointier, you know, cockpit area, maybe like Sinanju or hell, Sazabi or something like that, right? Tack that on, and that would be kind of cool, kind of an addition, right? These two parts here I used on the Aussie as the pivot points for the thruster pods on the backpack. These were great. I plated the back side of them, just used you know, some styrene sheet, plated those up, and this is, I think, 4.5, 5 millimeter hole right in the middle here. You can stack in a Kotobukiya detail piece, cover that up, you'll be good to go, right? You got this nice, perfect little pivot arm right here. You can stack something on that. It would look insane. So, great little parts there too. These little vents here, really, really cool to add some sort of customization to maybe a Zeta Plus, like on the chest or something, maybe on the shield, who knows. Those are awesome. These back skirts here you can cut down, add to some sort of skirt armor for your next project. Same thing with these shapes here too. Spin this around, you've got this kind of nice little trapezoidal vent right here. Get a pair of these, man, you can trick out the sides of a backpack, maybe the sides of the calves or something like that on a Zaku or something like that. Really, really good parts there too. So this A runner right here, if you're not already impressed by the gigantic Megapod booster thing from before, this A runner, this one seals the deal, right? But wait, there's more. This whole kit is just insane for parts. Now, on the stock kit, let me show you kind of the side angles here. Right there. So you see these kind of forearm shields, and you get a set of these, and it has a little cannon down at the bottom here, right? Really, really cool. You can use that on maybe like a Rizel, Delta Chi, or Delta Plus, I mean. All sorts of things, right? Twitch just says, hey, take it easy there, Billy Mays. Wait, there's more! No. So these are the runners that have the shields, those kind of arm shields contained within them. These are duplicate, these are twin C runners, so we're just going to look at one here real quick. This is the front and back front side of that shield, that arm shield, and then here's the top side of those. So all that together, you get a pair of these in the box. Really, really cool. This part right here, this kind of just armor part here, really cool on maybe a backpack or something like that. Same thing with all of these. Now, mind you, you get two of these, so you could technically put these on forearms or you know, the front part of your lower legs or something like that. Really good stuff. Same thing with all of these individual little parts here. Just some sick little detail parts. Just some little greeblies and stuff. Like these two parts here, you just kind of add these little shapes onto something to accentuate more surface detail, like a shield or a gun, shoulders, who knows, right? Because you get two in a box, might as well be symmetrical, right? So, those right there, you get 2 C runners. 2. Really good. Really, really good. You move on to the... Switch it out here. You got the, what is this? The D1 and then the D2 runners. You've got some really cool shaped wings here. Those can accentuate like your flying mechs, your Zeta Plus, your Delta Plus, your Zeta 2.0 Rezel. Strap those on the backpack of your Master Grade Strike Gundam, right? Those would be awesome. Jesus, my voice is failing me tonight, folks. Bear with me. I think I need a drink. Oh my God. Woo, boy. Okay, so back to it. And then you've got these 4 parts here are the lower legs. But, again, these would look great as kind of add-on parts for maybe like a lower leg. You know, you put another kind of thruster bell under here to really pump up the look of something, right? James is the best thing I had. If I really wanted a drink, then I'd get something else, trust me. But hey, what are you gonna do? So again, man, this other runner, this D1, great parts there. Here's D2. Again, man, you get this cool little. This is I think the front kind of tip of the cockpit assembly or whatever for the plant. That's pretty cool. You could put that on the front of a shield or something like that. You got these 2 little kind of shapes here. These are the back side of these, so those go together. You got these 2 pair of detail parts, and then these 2 little things here. A pair of hose little mechanisms and things. Just super cool. Just super, super cool. So, again, another runner of great parts, right? And then the last thing you got, it comes with a stand. And not one of the cheap kind of like character stands either. Like these are like the V-Groove straight up cool stands that come with like the Master Grade XS and stuff like that, right? So really cool. And then you've got your what is this? Your E runner. This is ABS. I still love ABS. Don't get me wrong. You can really work with ABS very, very easily. The inner frame of the Zaku 2.0 Johnny Ridden is full ABS. I like ABS for inner frames because it's structurally stronger than polystyrene. It doesn't give you the flex like polystyrene does. You do have to be careful with it. You have to prime the whole thing as a precaution to not make it brittle and explode all over the place. But if you treat the ABS right and you do the right things, it will reward you in stability and rigidity. Trust me on that. Anyway, here again, a bunch of cool little mechanical detail parts. You know, you've got the 2 barrels for the shields. You've kind of got these 2 little pivoting mechanisms here. You've got different pivoting points and things. You got these cool little mechanical details here. Again, ABS, can't beat it. So, you guys, that's the plant. Again, I mean, for 20 bucks, roughly, for 20 bucks, this particular kit is just a kit basher's dream, because you've got So much to work with. I'm telling you. Get one of these. Get one of these. Right? Alright. So we're going to do two more. Two more. We're going to do one somewhat obscure kit and then a big boy kit. That arguably is a little expensive. Might be out of the price range for some, but I'm going to show you why it's worth it here in a moment. But let's do the obscure kit first, shall we? Alright, so this kit's a little bit harder to find. You can still find it in different places, but this is the Space Pod Crabbe. This is by Keiko. This came out, God, what? I want to say, when did this come out? Probably, I don't know, 7-8 years ago, maybe? It's been out for a while. That's why it's a little bit harder to get. They've done reissues and things like that, and you can still get it in some places. So it's one of those things where you got to really hunt for it. And I've actually had this in the backlog for quite a long time. Let me see if I can find a. So Keiko created it, made it, manufactured it in China, but then it looks like it was distributed by Wave for, I guess, global markets and Japanese and stuff like that. I'm trying to find a copy right on here, but I don't see one right out of the gate. No. Anyway, it's not a big deal. But this is definitely a unique little kit, right? Because it's a non-scale little kind of really just sci-fi little thing, and it's pretty damn cool too, right? It has this kind of main cockpit, and then it has these two kind of giant arms with these shields on the side. And the really cool part about this kit is you actually get two of these in here. You get a transparent one, and then you get a normal opaque plastic version, which is actually really kind of cool, because for the money you get two, right? So that's a plus. That's a huge plus. And it comes in this weird kind of normal sherbet orange color, but then the transparent is this weird transparent kind of orangey tangerine style color. But same, these are the same exact runners. So these two are the D runners, and as you can see, identical in every way, shape, and form, just different plastic. That's it. That's all. But let's take out the runners here, and we'll take kind of a quick gander at this and see what's in this thing, because this is a pretty cool little model. So we're going to look at the opaque ones. We're going to put the transparent pieces back in there as we go through this, and this shouldn't take too long. But man, just straight off the jump here, you've got so much to play with on this just one runner, right? You've got these two shields here. That is kind of the pièce de résistance, if you speak French. So these two right here are cool little kind of like Buster forearm shields. Really, really cool. You've got these different, shapes around the sides, different mechanical shapes and things. Just so much mechanical detail in this is just insane. You can actually cut these down and use individual little elements from these parts too, and just go hog wild on a kit. So that right there, that first runner is really, really good. Now I'm gonna have to cut these open, because these are not the tear open style bags that Bandai provides. But what are you gonna do? Not a big deal. Alright, so that was the duplicate. This is a C runner. Tons of internals. Kind of little skids right here. These little kind of ski skids right here for the supports. Just all sorts of little fine detail greeblies in here. These mechanical arms with the hoses and everything like that. These little mechanisms, these like little gear mechanisms, these little pivot points in here, all little mechanical detail on this little sub-assembly. Just stupid cool. And you get 2 of these runners, so there you go. Right? William Wilms says, you want to win GBWC, gots to spend that money. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. And the thing to keep in mind is that these kits that I'm showing you right now, actually, all of these? Yeah, all of these kits I've had in the backlog for quite a long time. So you do kind of collect these things. And I've bought these things specifically for these purposes too. So, you can spend money. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people have. But if you have a focused idea that you really refine down and, you really, really work until it's awesome, you can definitely win. You can definitely go far as well. So again, man, this runner right here, tons of different little parts, little hoses and things, mechanical details, pivot points, gears, all sorts of cool stuff on this one. And then this is the kind of big runner for the mechanics and stuff in this, it looks like. Now, for something like this particular kit, what I would do is to assemble it first and then kind of take stock of what is, what kind of forms and shapes are really there. This one is just chocked full of mechanics, hoses, leads, things like that. The inner portions of those kind of arm shields and stuff. You got this really cool kind of hose assembly over here that just kind of snakes out like almost like a Medusa's head or something like that. Different gear and pivot points, all sorts of really, really cool little things. All sorts of mechanical details and stuff like that in here. You can just go crazy with this particular kit. And then this kit, these runners are just the clear bases, the canopy, and just kind of miscellaneous parts. So we're not really going to go through that. But that, ladies and gents, is the... Let's try to flip this over onto it. And that didn't work. But Space Pod Crabbe. So, like I said, it's a little bit of a chore to find, but yeah, I'm sure you can find it out there. Probably Hobby Search, sometimes Hobby Link Japan will have it. Not sure, Adam, if you're watching, I don't know if you have any of these in stock or not, or if you can get them or whatever. But maybe USA Gundam Store as well. Those types of things, places, all that good stuff. But yeah, good little kit for kit bashing. But you have to kind of have the right aesthetic and the right idea in mind as well. So nice little kit there. All right, so last one we're gonna show. Julius Dembski asks, Tim, do you ever use military vehicles for parts? I have not yet. I want to very badly. I definitely want to get some kind of smaller scale tanks and stuff like that have kind of the wheels, the different gearing assemblies, things of that nature. Definitely want to get some of those, but I have not yet. So a lot of the guys that I follow on like Instagram and stuff like that use different old Tamiya and Dragon kits and things like that for little greeblies. And there's actually even, if you guys have seen Adam Savage's Tested channel, he sometimes will talk about the universal greebly, which is this weird little circular detail part. It's just like a little puck-shaped part with 4 little rivets around the side, and that's the part. It seems like the old sci-fi heads back in the day when they used to work at ILM used to just go crazy for. So yeah, I'd love to start using some of those and kind of acquiring tank models and stuff like that, but they are a little bit on the expensive side. So I think I have to just find the right kind. But yeah, great source for greeblies and parts and mechanical stuff, if you will. So hey, just real quick, you guys, let's let me answer just a couple questions real quick here, because we got a couple folks over there on the good old Facebook that were asking some questions here. Let's see. Juan Crovero, he says, "What's up, man? Grimm Guard is such a dope kit." I agree, man. Mike Thibodeau, he says, "Hey Tim, I have been watching all your streams when you was doing etching parts and the sticky tack stuck to the model. My mom used to do jewelry gems, and they used beeswax. Might want to try that instead." Interesting. Great tip. Aeon Mecha, I hope I'm saying that correctly. What do you think about the IO frame Shinden? Do you think should be in 1/100 scale? I'm guessing that's the kind of new one that's coming out. And I think everything should be in 1/100, to be honest with you. Why not, right? Hey. So yeah. Bailey says the original Star Wars models for the movies were all Greeblies. Yeah, that's kind of what he was alluding to back in the ILM days and stuff like that, and all of that. So yeah. GizmoCon Gumpla, Jonathan, the kit that Adam references isn't in production. The last time I found him, it was going for 500. Yeah, and that kit was big too to begin with. It was like, I forget the name of it, like Big Bertha or something like that. So that doesn't surprise me. But that Universal Greebly, I believe, has been, has been copied in several other things. I don't know for certain though. So what are you gonna do? But yeah, that's absolutely correct, Jonathan. That big, massive dragon kit was just stupid, right? Let's see. Bailey says even on the new Bandai versions, you can pick out the kit bashed parts. Nice. I know they tried to stay pretty true to the studio version. Rex Smith Dragon kits would be a gold mine for parts. A lot of their armor kits have 1,000+ parts. Yeah, and that's kind of why I would really love to get some of those. But again, a little bit pricey. Dostro Kaz, hope I'm saying that right again. Hey Tim, first time I managed to catch the stream live. Great work, brother. Keep them coming. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you for watching too. Welcome to the stream. That's awesome. Dwidget says the IO frame Shinden is from the Gundam IBO mass production kit. Okay. I don't keep up with IBO, guys. It's just one of those things. I've watched IBO, and yeah, I don't keep track with the mechs and stuff like that, all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Mike Teebs Thibodeau, ever do a studio stream? Do you mean like kind of just showing the studio? I think we did that. We did that one time. I think it was on January 2nd stream. I know it was like the first stream of the year that we did kind of like a studio tour. So if that's what you were talking about, yeah, go check that stream out. I think it's probably like 3/4 of the way through the stream. But yeah, I just kind of walked around and showed the studio, even though it's a absolute pigsty back then, and even now it's terrible. It's gotten even worse. But yeah, if that's what you're looking for, Mike, go back to that January 2nd stream, or the first one of this year, and it should be in there. So, let's see. There he is. There's Bailey. McConnell.com. ILM Universal Greebly. Nice. Let's take a look and see what this is. Oh, look at this. Holy moly. Yep, there it is. That Leopold. Okay, I don't know why I was calling it the Big Bertha, but yeah, that big. Oh, and that's a Hasegawa. Yep, there's the Universal Greebly. And you got like 12 of them too in that kit. Ay, ay, ay. Look at all these stills and pictures of that. Guys, seriously, go check out that link that that Bailey just posted on the YouTube chat. If you guys aren't in the YouTube chat, just hop over here just real quick just to click on the link. It's worth your time. Favorite it and save it for later. Go back and really read through that because yeah, that's nostalgia model making right there, man. That's like the goats of ILM back in the day. Yes, I love it. Gabu Samu Vlad Kubopoulos. Damn, I'm just gonna call you Gab. That's a mouthful, man. The kid Adam Savage talked about is the Enzio Annie. Okay, Big Bertha, Enzio Annie, Leopold. It's a bunch of them, yeah. But I also found it as a Leopold or some name like that. So there you go. Okay, so the one on the link that Bailey posted was called the Leopold, but the Enzio Annie is what Adam Savage had mentioned in that video, talking about the Universal Greebly. So there you go. Oh, Thurno, thank you for posting it on Facebook. And you know what? Here, I'll go ahead and post it for you guys on Twitch here real quick, too. So hang tight. Copy. Paste. Go. Have fun, Twitch. Have fun, people. Let's see. What else? For those that don't know what he's referring to, yeah. Got to look for sales. Picked up 3 Dragon 135th scale kits for $60 about a year ago. Damn, yeah. And see, and that's the thing. I don't keep up with the armor too much. So that's probably half the problem. I just don't ever catch them when they're, when they're going on sale and stuff like that. So I think I probably need to do that. Superset 5. Speaking of kit bashing, do you think the head of the Master Grade GM Colony type would mesh well with the Master Grade Easy 8? Probably. Only one way to find out, right? Because, I mean, you're talking about 2 relatively inexpensive kits. The Easy 8, I love those old school ground kits. I don't care what anybody says. They're just solid as a rock. Even still today, and those were produced early 2000s, 2001 to I think around 2004, 5, and I love those kits. I absolutely just am head over heels in love with those kits. Those are wonderful kits. So, and then the Master Grade GM Colony type, which is based on the Sniper 2, which is also another insanely solid kit. I would highly recommend that too. So yeah, I think though the GM Colony is probably a tad bit smaller in stature than the Master Grade Easy 8. So if that doesn't bother you, that might work out pretty well. So I would say give it a shot. Can't hurt, right? But thanks for watching the Superset. Bailey, that link is for the Leopold Railgun version. Yeah, that was the one by Hasegawa. Mike Teebs, Tebow, I have not gotten that far. Well, just skip ahead, man. Skip ahead. Posted on Facebook. Thank you, Twitch. Thurno Hobbies and Games. Cool. All right, so last kit I want to show you guys. This is the big one, and you see me reference this kit in the background here. This bad boy, this is the GN Arms 144 scale. This is just a big old kit. I mean, this thing is a little bit larger than your typical Master Grade box. This is, if I was to equate this, I would say this is along the size of maybe your Hayaku Shiki 2.0, Jagan, maybe your Gyaradoga size box. It's a big box. big box with a lot of big parts too. Even for 144, these parts are big. Julius Dembski, according to HLJ, the Space Pod Crabbe has been discontinued. Yeah, HLJ is kind of like poo-poo when it comes to stock, keeping stock in of that type of stuff. I would definitely check out Hobby Search, maybe Mandarake, if all else fails, Taobao. I have seen it on there several times, especially since it's a Chinese company. You could definitely... well, I should say you should probably be able to find it if all else fails, at least on maybe like Taobao or something like that. But I would check, your other Japanese vendors, Hobby Search, Ami maybe. Like I said, Mandarake, some of these other places, maybe even eBay, places like that. Because like I said, it's an older kit, a little bit harder to find, but yeah, HLJ is kind of poo-poo when it comes to keeping stock on things. So if it's not like in their top 100 products, they're just like, nah, we're not going to stock it. That's why I'm not a huge fan of HLJ anymore. They used to be really sweet back in the day because their only other competition was this other company called Rainbow 10 way back in the early 2000s. And Rainbow 10, you had to jump through hoops to order because they didn't have any sort of web interface. You actually had to manually email them from a list of products they provided. And this was a text list back in the day. So you had to go through this list of thousands of products and find the thing that you wanted, right? So there was no kind of exploring, looking at things. Oh, that's cool. What is, So back in the day, HobbyLink Japan was awesome, but now they've got other competition, much better competition out there. So yeah, there's poo-poo. Straight poo-poo. All right, so you guys... This kit is so jammed packed with kit bash fodder. It's just awesome. You've seen parts of this kit on probably a ton of different customs and you probably didn't know it, right? This is the GN Arms mobile armor, right? So you get this big runner of polycaps. That right there you can use. You could just go hog wild, right? You've got this big kind of custom looking shield thing almost, and this would be great to add on to like a Delta Plus, Zeta, etc., right? It's even got, panel lines and little etched details, notches, and all sorts of things. So this piece right here is pretty much ready straight out of the gate, right? Great runner there. And what are we going to do here? We're going to set those off to the side. And I'm not going to take these out of the bags, unfortunately, because I want to keep these kind of contained. So bear with me. This second runner here, this part right here is the bottom portion of one of the boosters that I put on the back of the Ozymandias. So you'll recognize this assembly right here if you're a fan of the Ozzy. You've got different wings. You've got these kind of trapezoidal little features here that would be amazing to add on to the side of a backpack, the back of a leg, maybe on the knees of some sort of Fetty suit or something like that, maybe like a Master Grade Easy 8 or something, or maybe this is kind of a kneeling pad for the GM Sniper 2, to get down in the kneeling position. Go hog wild with these things, but another really good runner there. And you also get a 144 Exia in this thing too, so you've got the folding blade thingy that you can use on something else. You've got the inside of the shield, which is really, really nice. You've got all the different mechanical parts for the Exia in there. This is a ton of pivoting ball joints and different jointing mechanisms and things like that. All polystyrene. Got these great circular kind of booster details in this particular runner. Great one again. But then when you get into these big blue Mamma Jammas here, this is kind of when the beauty of this kit comes into play. So you guys, this is crazy. So these parts here go onto that assembly like I showed you before, that pod assembly for the Aussie. This is the front top of the shield. This is the front bottom of that particular part. This is kind of a cowling cover for that. And then you've got these two massive pods here, and you get two of them. So you can add that on to the back of something like a big booster backpack or something like that, or if you're going crazy, maybe add those on to the forearms to kind of go nutso with, right? So those are really cool. Tim doesn't know what the folding blade thingy is. It's a folding blade thingy. It's a little forearm thing that was folded out. Again, I'm not a big fan of Double O. I've watched it and everything, but it's not like I keep up with it. So this piece right here, I mean, look at the size of that thing. That right there, you can turn into a custom shield for your next mobile suit, right? You just kind of plastic up the back side of it, detail it up, and that thing, you get two of them in here. That thing right there is a ready-made shield. Just awesome, right? So, again, great runner of parts there. Here, again, you've got the two, these are the fronts right here along the sides. These are the front of the pod for that arm mechanism. You got these big, bulky thrusters, assemblies and things like in here, mechanical details, all sorts of stuff on that particular runner. Here are more of the parts for the Exia or Double O or whatever it is. I don't really give a shit. Again, even more. And then you got kind of the internals for different things here. A lot of really cool details, circular details and things like that in here, greeblies and all that. And then here, just a ton of big parts that you can just go hog with on customizing a model. So again, this particular kit is a little bit harder to find, and it's not exactly cheap either. I think when I found it, I paid, I think, around $40-ish on Amazon for two of these. So I knew they would be worth it. Let's put it that way. I knew they would be worth it in terms of parts and things, and boy were they. So yeah. Now, for those of you guys that aren't familiar with what this guy looks like, let's see if that'll focus. That'll probably not focus, so let's try to bend it down a little bit. No, that ain't gonna focus there. Oh well. But that's basically what you're looking at. This big beast of a mobile armor that the mobile suit just kind of rides in and just is crazy. So there you go, guys. Just some ideas that you can use for different kits to part out, to kit bash, all sorts of different things. Really useful parts and things. Some kit's missing a runner. We'll find that later. Anyway, so if you want to get into different kit bashing and everything, man, look at these cheaper, more inexpensive kits like the Gaplant, like the Grimm Guards, like the Briarland. You know, those weird kind of Zeta kits and things like that, or kind of the more unique looking kits. All those are great kit bash fodder. So Yeah, go pick some up. They're inexpensive, and they would make your next project completely unique. It's worth it. It's worth it. Let's see here. GN Sword 1. Whatever. Let's see. Yeah, it's all for parts. He has gone over his choices of model kits to get for parts for kit bashing. Yeah. So that explains the missing spot on the shelf. Yes! That's where the kid was. Good eye. Good eye. Dean says, why doesn't he just buy a Dendrobium for parts? Because the Dendrobium doesn't really have the parts that I would be looking for. The Dendrobium it's really just kind of a big block, and we're looking for smaller, more unique parts for kit bashing and things. So that's why I suggested some of the smaller 144 style kits that are just individual mobile suits, not like mobile armors like the big old Dendrobium. And plus, the Dendrobium has a lot of big parts, like massive parts. The kits that I showed have smaller scale parts. The biggest one obviously was the GN arms that had some big parts to it, but still usable for 1/100 scale master grades and even perfect grades and stuff like that. So that's why I kind of showed these things, Dean. The Dendrobium just doesn't lend itself to that kit bashing aesthetic. So yeah, it's apples and oranges. William Wilms, add the narrative A pack for parts. Yes, that's a definite. That does look like a good kit to part out, especially like the lower kind of booster assemblies, like the things that go on the legs of the narrative Gundam. Those right there, slap those on a backpack, or replace the legs of some other maybe smaller master grade, make it into a BST version or something like that. Yeah, those are good parts too. I have had my eye on the narrative A pack for quite a long time now. Junk Guild 1, yeah, the Exia GN Arms is nearly 100 Aussie dollars for local sellers. Yeah, it's not one of those kits that are frequent in Bandai's release cycle. Let's put it that way, right? It's kind of more on the obscure side, I would say, at this point. So, yeah. Let's see, Bailey. Yeah, I like the narrative Gundam. Could care less about the Apex, though. Just in terms of parts and shapes, like the geometry of those parts, I think there's some quality things in there for kit bashing. Twidget, Tim, you want to buy this narrative A parts off me for parts then? Not right now, dude. I've got so many damn kits in my backlog. I don't need another one. And plus, I'm getting that Just a Cannon off you. I think you milked enough money out of me at this point, dude. But no, I appreciate it though. My voice is hanging in there, you guys. My voice is hanging in there. All right, so now that Dean's here, we should probably get to work. Let's do that. Okay, so we were messing around with the shoulders in the cover for the shoulders last time. Let's get zoomed in. There we go. And I haven't done any work on this since. I'm still trying to work on the Just a base, get that in gear. And honestly, hopefully you guys, I think I might be able to reveal the Justice sometime next week. Maybe. I don't want to guarantee you guys anything, but maybe. Because I've got the upper arm finalized. I've got the connection points on the parachutes built and done. I've got a new cover made for the top of the upper support arm. So all that's ready to go to primer. Yeah, I might be able to reveal it next week. Might be able to reveal it. We'll see. We'll see. George says, "Nah, I think I can milk you for a wee bit more." Nice. I love it. William Wilms, tell him about the Master Grade Jesta Shepherd. Nice. Spider 2K2, glad you were getting the Jesta Cannon, Tim. Hopefully when Doja gets more in stock, I'll buy one. There you go. Damn, autocorrect. The Shazar. Yeah, no, I saw that. I saw the Shazar versions. I guess they're P Bandai, right? You know, if you don't have a Jesta, that's probably a really good buy, because you get the you get the big mounted gun, but then you also get that weird kind of grenade launcher looking thing, and then the foldy targeting thing, scope thing. So yeah, I mean, if you don't have any Jestas and you want to get a Jesta, that might be a good one. Who knows? That might be a good one. But I don't see me needing it, because, like I said, I already got another Jesta over here back there supporting the GM Spartan sign, and then I've got the re-release of the Jesta Cannon coming from Dwidget over there on Facebook, Thermal Hobbies and Games on Facebook. So I'm stocked as far as Jestas go, and plus I just made one. I don't need to make another one anytime soon. So, but with the Jesta Cannon, I do have an interesting idea for a potential project. Potential. Kuko305, hey Chad, I'm thinking of adding a booster exhaust fan to my pre-bought airbrush booth. We should add 350 CFM to it. Is that enough? And what are your thoughts on booster fans? Holy shit, dude. 350 cubic feet per minute. What's the size of your airbrush booth? What are the dimensions of your airbrush booth, Kuko? Because if it's big, if it's a big one, then I would say that's probably pretty damn good. If it's a small one, it's gonna suck your face off. Because I think I've shown you guys and you guys obviously can't see it because it's just off screen. But my spray booth is 2 feet deep, 3 feet wide, 2 foot high. I have three bathroom fans in there, and they kick out about 70 CFM a piece, so about 210 total. And that thing sucks air for days. So 350, that's a lot of air you're moving, man. That's a lot of air. Julius Dempsey, did you see that they're going to make the Shazar type? Yeah, the B and C. Yeah, we saw that, Julius. We were just, like Bailey said, we were just talking about it. Yeah, yeah. Can it link to your page? I tried searching. Oh, there you go. Cool. Look at that. Nice. So yeah, Kuko, what's the dimensions on your spray booth, man? 350 CFM. That's a massive amount of air. Massive. So if you've got like one of those like master style foldy spray booths, then I'd say 350 is probably way overkill. Way overkill. Now, I should say if it's a bigger, nice metal one, like kind of like what like those expensive spray booths, then that might not be bad, especially if you have a filter in it, right? Oh, it is a Masters one. Ooh, yeah, dude, 350 is going to be way overkill, I think, for that thing. Yeah, 350, dude, that's a lot of air. That's a lot of air. Like I said, my spray booth, again, 2x2x3. So it's a big spray booth, and I built it myself, so I wanted room, right? Yeah, dude, that master thing, that's 2x1. That's gonna shit. If you're moving 350, that's almost gonna suck that air. It's gonna suck that spray booth right through the hole of that tube that you got it connected to, man. So yeah, I would say that's a little bit too much. That's a little bit too much. If you can scale that down to maybe 150, 200, that's probably going to be about where you're going to want to be. That's going to probably be in your comfort zone. I'd probably say more around the 150 mark, because yeah, that spray booth number 1 is already small. It's 2x1, so you're looking at 2 cubic feet, and if you're moving 150 cubic feet per minute, that's a lot of air. That's a lot of air. Like I said, each one of my fans moves 70, so 210 total for my big old box. 350 for a smaller box like that. Yeah, that'll suck you in like a black hole, dude. Plain and simple. It'll have its own gravitational field. Light will not escape that thing. So yeah, I would definitely rethink it. I would definitely rethink that booster fan. Booster fans are not a bad idea, especially when you have kind of a smaller box like that. And let's face it, master spray booths are a little bit more on the cheaper side, more inexpensive side of things. And also, if you have a filter in it already, that's obviously going to limit the airflow. So having about a 150 or thereabouts will help move air through that filter at a much faster clip, but it's not going to suck your face off like 350 will. So yeah. Let's see. Kuko 305. Okay, thank you. I was worried since I'm switching to lacquers and I paint inside. Yeah, no, I do too. And as long as you have it vented to the outside, that's going to be the most important thing. Then that will take the fumes, that will take the particulates, all of that with it, out that tube and flush it outside. That's what I have. My tube runs up and out to one of like a dryer vent that's on the side of my house. So yeah, I have that hooked up there. It's insulated and taped and all that good shit, and it works great. So, and as long as you have yours filtering and venting to the outside, I think yours will work great too. So yep. Let's see. Dwidget Tim, just like a woman's purse. Sorry, ladies. I apologize for the Dwidget. Oh my. Anyway, Scuffle. I want to make a spray booth out of Ralph Macchio's costume in Karate Kid 1. You know, it just wouldn't be a stream without a random comment from Scuffle. It wouldn't. But they're fun random comments. That's for damn sure. Fun random comments from Scuffle. Love it. We should like archive those or something. Okay. So anyway, let's switch gears back to this thing. So last time we were here, we slapped on this big plate here, this extension plate, to give us some room for that overhang. Biggie Paul's, Tim, do you really think ladies are watching? Yes, I do, actually. I know a few that watch. So, there you go. So, like I said, we need to trim this off a little bit and then start getting into making a kind of the overhang here that kind of comes down probably about halfway over top of this vent, because what we're trying to replicate here is that shoulder right there, right? And then there's kind of the look of it more from the side. Now, based off of these two angles, this angle here and this angle here, this angle, you're looking more kind of up, kind of to that 3/4. So you're seeing, I think, more vent there than if you were looking, you know, parallel to it. This obviously is looking more kind of 3/4 down. So just by estimation from these two angles, that looks to be about in the middle of the vent. So if we were to simply bring this down to that point right there, or thereabouts, oops, I missed it, right there or thereabouts, you're covering about half of that vent, which is kind of what we're looking for, right? Based on these two angles and just kind of judgment calling it. So that tells us we're in the right ballpark, at least in terms of geometry, right? So that's encouraging. That's an encouraging thing. William Wilms, I get it, Scuffle. The shower Halloween costume. Huh? Oh, I missed it. Tim, who was that one modeler who taught other modelers in the mall that had his booths hanging outside the window? Huh? Who is that one modeler who taught other modelers in the mall that had his booth hanging outside the window? I don't know, man. It's a new one to me. Yeah. Travis G over there on YouTube, he says, hey there, Tim. What's up, Travis G? Thanks for watching. Welcome. Scuffle, yeah, I thought it was during one of the Gunpla talks as a guest. Taught in a mall? See, now I'm racking my brain here. Okay, so let me try to run down. There was Win. I don't think he doesn't have a spray booth because he does an airbrush. There was Dennis Kim from where's Dennis from? Taiwan? That might be him. Because he teaches in Asia someplace. Yeah. Dennis has taught class. Well, Dennis has a school even. I wonder if it's somebody that Zach interviewed in Korea, because they do some interesting things over there too. I can't remember it off the top of my head, man. Yeah, sorry, Scuffle. I honestly don't know. Scuffle, it was a guy that had a shop inside a mall where he teaches. I want to see if I can replicate that. Shoot. I don't know. The best thing that I can think of was Dennis Kim from Taiwan. Because, like I said, he has his own school that he teaches at full time in Taiwan. Exceptionally talented modeler, by the way. So that's the only one I can really think of that would be along those lines. Everybody else, I don't know. I would say go back and check out that episode of Gunpla Talk, Scuffle. Maybe double check and see if that's the one. But if we had a guest on, then you should be able to cycle through the episodes and see which episodes we have guests on, because we'll have it in the title and everything. So I would say try and check that out. But I can't remember off the top of my head, man. I'm sorry. Let's see. Joseph Calpo over there on YouTube. What's up, Joseph? He says, I missed a lot. Where did you get that sketch? Good question, Joseph. These two pieces of line art here, this one and this one, are from one of my favorite books. It's the Master Archive GM book. So you can find those on HLJ, Hobby Search, Ami, Mandarake, places like that. Japanese books. You can even find some locally if you live near a Kinokuniya. I think that's how you pronounce it. The American-based Japanese bookseller. I've seen some in there before, but once in a blue moon. So if you do live near one, you could probably hit those up. So give it a shot. But yeah, I love those books. They're the Master Archive books. They have several different editions. So definitely check them out. Let's see. Travis G. Also wondering about where that GM sketch came from. Nice. Perfect timing. There you go. Same thing, Travis. Scuffle, all good. Go through all the Gunpla Talk episodes. Bailey said Zach interviewed Professor Lee from Gunpla Lab, but that was a street shop where he teaches. That could be it. So you might want to check some of Zach's interviews as well. Scuffle, probably Dennis then. I just remember one of his entries was a green textured. Yes, that was definitely Dennis, because that was his GBWC 2016 entry, and it was the green new Verka riding on that kind of Chinese dragon looking thing. And yes, it was, the paint was looked like it was textured and everything like that. So if that's the same one, then that was definitely Dennis. Check out that episode, because yeah, he paints like crazy, He said that thing had like 12 to 13 different layers of paint, clear, etc. on it. I was blown away. Like, crazy. But yeah, if that's the one, check out the Dennis episode. So, good episode too. He's such a wonderful guy. He really is. I love Dennis to death, man. I met him, like I said, in 2016. Him and his wife, Rin, just such amazing people. And guys, that's the thing with GBWC. If I haven't expressed it before, and I know I have, if you have not entered GBWC, even just locally, do it. Because you're going to meet some amazing, amazing people at these competitions. And even if it's not GBWC, even if it's just your local competition, maybe at a local hobby store, or maybe a local IPMS or something like that, or maybe your college does kind of an anime modeling thing or something. Who knows, right? You're going to meet some amazing people, and I've met just some outstanding individuals through this hobby and competitions and stuff like that. So I highly recommend it. So there you go. Scuffle says, "Yep, found it. It's the following at the 43-minute mark." Was that Dennis then? I assume so. Let me click the Scuffle link here. Yep, that's Dennis. Dennis Chow. Shit. Why did I say his name was Dennis Kim? I couldn't even remember. Wow, look how fat I was. Oh my God. I was so fat, you guys. Okay, nobody click on that Scuffle link. Don't do it. Don't watch that. Just don't watch that. Ugh. Ugh. That makes me uncomfortable. Anyway. Scuffle, what's even funnier is you even commented on it. Dude, we've done what, 40 some odd episodes of Gunpla Talk over the last four and a half years. So yeah, that's, I can't remember everything that I say on these shows. Shit, I can't hardly remember the things that I say on the show right after I said it. So, all right. So what we're gonna do? Let's put this back on. Let's start measuring here, shall we? What we need to do is try to line this up appropriately here. And we're going to give it a little bit of shit. we're gonna give this try to give this a little bit of leeway here. Let's do it like this. Maybe like about a millimeter hangover here. Okay. All right, so now that we've got that measured up, let's see what that looks like. Let's eyeball that. All right, so there you can see the mark that I just made. That's going to come out. That's going to give us a little bit more room to create that angled overhang, right? So with that being said, let's pull the chopper in here. Let's get this thing sliced nice and laser straight here. Money. That, my friends, is the beauty of having a chopper 2. You get nice, straight, dead-ass cuts like that, right? So if you don't have a chopper 2, man, you got to go get you one. Got to go get you one. So many people ask me, where'd you get the chopper? Where'd you get the chopper? Where'd you get the chopper? And I keep telling them, man, you can get it on Northwest Shortline. You can get it on Evergreen Scale Plastics. You can sometimes get it on Amazon, and even some local stores will carry it as well. But I would highly suggest either Northwest Shortline or Evergreen Scale Plastics is probably going to be your best bet, because they have it at a pretty good price, about $49.95 right now. It's marked as in stock. I know Guilo, Scott Gibson over there on one of the GBA guys, he had tried to order it through Northwest Shortline, and they were back ordered, but they didn't have that notification on the website, which kind of sucks. But I think he should. I think they said it was back ordered like 2 weeks. So unless Evergreen Scale Models, Evergreen's Plastics does the same thing, it looks like they have it in stock right now. So if you want a chopper 2, if you live in the States or wherever, go get you one. If you live in Australia, hit up Hobbyco, because I know I think they got a bunch of them in, because I know a few of my friends from down there just picked one up. Gundam Taz over there on Instagram, and Nozaku Boy James, and Craig Flynn Berger. They all picked one up, and I think they got them from Hobbyco. So Ryan and the boys, I think, are doing a good job getting that tool in for those guys down there. So yeah, if you live down under, man, check out Hobbyco. We'll see what happens, right? Bailey says, Tim, what thickness styrene are you using for these layers? This is all 1 millimeter, actually. This is all 1 millimeter. This is big beefy stuff, because I wanted this to look big and beefy and armored, just like the line art, right? That just looks just like an armored, like a tank armor, right? So that's what this is. 1 millimeter thickness. Good question, B. Scuffle says, favorite tool I own, just wish it had a longer blade. Yeah, you know, you have some pros and cons with it, but the one con, or the one pro, I should say, for that is that you can buy any straight blade and pop into it. It's a universal, you know, just a universal straight blade. So it is what it is. Bailey says, by the way, if anybody buys a chopper 2, do not throw away the box until you've retrieved the spare blade taped inside the flap. Yeah. Bailey, whoops. Scuffle, LOL, my wife threw out the box and I flipped and went dumpster diving. Dude, you know, the thing is that, like I said, you can buy, and I've shown these plenty of times before, but you can buy big boxes of these kind of like just these straight blades, right? For scrapers, box cutters, whatever. That's what these are. That's what's used in there. So you don't require any sort of special blade. It's just you go to the hardware store, you get yourself a pack of blades, and you're good to go for however long they last. So I wouldn't sweat it too much, even if your wife did that. So sorry, wifey. Wah, wah. Anyway, all right. So we're gonna continue to use this piece that we just cut off, right? So what we've got to do is we've got to create kind of a beveled angle here, right? That matches the angle on the shoulders. Okay? So this is going to be a bit tricky because we've got to cut and basically get this top corner down so it's at an angle and will glue straight to the underside of this top piece. So to do that, get your hobby knife, my Olfa hobby art knife, for those of you playing at home. And all I do, right, just to begin off with, is I just start scraping the corner down, right, at roughly the angle that I think it's going to be. We'll clean this up here in a minute, but this is just to basically get this corner off of here so we can really go to work with better shaping tools and sanding blocks, files, stuff like that, right? This is just rough work right now. So, as you can probably see, that's starting to take the angle there, right? So now we're going to leave that, we're going to leave the hobby knife alone for a little bit. Now we're going to move to this big old bastard file, and we're going to start hogging off some material here. This will start to flatten out the angle and eliminate any irregularities or unevenness that was caused by the hobby knife, because you're not going to get a completely straight scrape with the hobby knife, because it's going to dip in the middle and it's going to cause you know, more plastic to come off there than on the sides. Now what we can do is try to see where our angle's at, and our angle's a little bit off, so we need to bring that in just a little bit. And you want to hit this at a couple different angles, right? Just to try and get a nice even surface there. All right. So now let's recheck this. And that looks pretty good. Let's check it from both sides here. Yeah, that's nice and flat, and that's pretty much on the money there where we need it to be. So we're going to go with that. So now we're going to put the bastard file away, and we're going to pull out our sanding blocks to do just some finish sanding here, because this doesn't look straight, right? So set that right up against the side there, and yeah, that does not look straight at all. Let's grab this bad boy here and let's see what it looks like. Yeah. All right. So we're high on this side, we're low on, whoops. Okay. So we're high on this side, we're low on this side. Okay. So to remedy that, let's get our knife out, and then let's start scraping this way. That's going to start taking plastic off of this side while relieving that side, right? It's getting there. It's getting there. So bastard file again. Start shaping this thing down on this side. And we're applying pressure on the high side, right? So now that's starting to come in a square. It's a little bit better. It's a little high in the middle now, but it looks even on the two sides. That's good. We're getting there. We're getting there. Have you tried sanding it down at an angle? Yeah, and that's what basically what we're doing right now. The problem is that it's tough to get a piece like this sanded down at you know, a perfect angle every time. So that's why you need to go back and just fiddle with it, you know, just fine tune it. But that looks like it's in pretty good shape. That's almost perfect. And I'm actually quite happy with that. Let's check the angle on it. We can work with that, I think. I think we can work with that. All right. So what we're going to do first is we're going to super glue this into place. That's the first step. And then we'll come back, we'll backfill this with a little bit of reinforcing material. Maybe some super glue, more super glue on the back side maybe. Maybe some modeling cement. Hard to say. Maybe even use baby powder mixed with super glue to kind of give that just a little bit of support in there. Okay. So placement's important. Okay, that looks like it's at a good angle, right? There's the front, there's the back. It looks pretty damn flush to me. That's not bad. That's not bad. I will take that. So now we carefully pop this off. We don't want to trim this just yet because this is still super fragile. So we're going to backfill just the inside here with some super glue. And we're just basically flooding this right now. And that's going to build up a ton of super glue in this space right here, right? But that's not a problem because we're going to come back, we're going to reshape this at a later time. So not a big deal at all. What we're looking for right now is for this to hold nicely to this, right? So we'll come back here and we'll get some super glue on the inside angle there. And we're just going to set this off to the side, okay? We're not going to do anything with this right now because we need this glue to set and we need this piece to become very, very strong because that right now is very weak. So we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it. Excuse me. All right, so next thing to do, let's take a look at this other shoulder here. And let's see what's what. Oh, let's see. Scalpel says, LOL, my wife threw out the box. Oh, we read that. Yeah, I got a bulk pack from Lowe's. Yeah, that's where I got mine from, I think. Way back in the day, like 5-6 years ago, maybe? Something like that. Scalpel, nah, man, it was the principle. Don't throw away my stuff, woman. Oh, that's my Scuffle, man. Love Scuffle. Any tips on how to keep bevels like that sharp? My attempts start getting rounded. Twitch says, have you tried sanding it down at an angle? Bailey says, metal files, yep. Scuffle says, yeah, but I slip every now and then. Bailey says, jeweler's files and also scraping with your hobby blade. Absolutely. Twitch says, try making a contraption that has a sharp angle and have the sheet of sanding paper glued down to one side. So what the Dwidget is describing is a sanding jig. And, you know, for those of you guys that have watched the stream, you know that I love using all sorts of jigs for scribing, sanding, assembly, all sorts of that stuff. So, absolutely, what I would definitely say is if you need a very, very, very specific angle, like if accuracy is paramount, then absolutely go and make yourself a jig that will definitely help. But, you know, for something like what I just did, it might be a little bit overkill because, you know, as long as you're in the right ballpark, as long as you get adhesion between those two parts, that's what's paramount. You know, you can backfill any gaps with super glue. You can reinforce that with other pieces of styrene and other materials and things like that. So as long as you're in the right ballpark, that's what matters most with something like that. Now, for Scuffle, I think what he's talking about is keeping the angles, the bevels, nice and sharp, not getting that round over, you know, when sanding and everything. So that's actually a really good topic. Ultraman Dyna says, what, seriously? I freaking threw it away a few days ago. I didn't know there was a spare blade. Yeah, and like we said, Dyna, it's just a normal straight blade, so I wouldn't get too brokenhearted about it. It's not really a big deal. Like Bailey said, you can go to Lowe's and buy a bulk pack of them for super stupid cheap, so it's not a big thing. Would you think along the line of meat slice glide or guide? I don't know, maybe. Scuffle says, I've tried making jigs, but maybe I just need to use different sanding stick. That's a little bit more rigid. Yeah, I would say that, and Bailey said exactly. That's what the High-Q sanding slider and a few other tools are. Oh yeah, I've seen those. Yeah. Scuffle says, yeah, it's tiny and easily missed. Bailey, your Freudian slip just now is another tip. Use a Sharpie marker to mark the angle, distance, and sand until you reach the mark. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do that. What is this? Oh, God, there's a guy. I think he's Julius Lim. I think that's his name. I believe he's Korean, but I'm not 100% sure. But he's an amazing scratch builder. If you guys have not heard of him, check him out. Google him, Julius Lim. I'm telling you what, he has made some insanely good scratch build busts of like the Sinanju and things like that. Just crazy detailed and really nice. The half site said the YouTubed Cam just out a video on bevels last week, I think, and he actually mentions you, Tim, in the vid as an inspiration of his. Yes, he talked about that with me before he released it. Yeah, Cam's a good dude, Jonathan. I love him. He does good work. He's also running a contest, by the way, super big contest, which looks amazing. But I will not be joining it. I just don't have time, unfortunately. I wish I did. But yeah, he definitely talked to me about that. Yeah, great dude. But so Scuffle, what I would say, definitely, is that it sounds like you're probably using just like normal sandpaper in your hand or something like that, or maybe a sanding pad or something. What I would definitely recommend is something along these lines. This is just a sanding block, right? Now, get that out of the way. I got these from HobbyMate. I don't know if you guys can even see that in there, but it's engraved. These actually came with Scratch Build Revolution back kind of when it first came out several years ago. And they included these. These are just acrylic little acrylic blocks with double-sided tape. That's what this kind of black grid is on the back there. Yeah, it's just double-sided tape and then normal sandpaper on top. Now, obviously, not everybody's going to be able to get these nice little acrylic blocks or anything, which is not a big deal, because if you know somebody, and a lot of us don't, if you know somebody that has access to a laser cutter, they can cut these out super simple for you. Bailey says Madworks makes acrylic blocks just like that along with pre-cut adhesive sandpaper. There you go. There's another option. If you wanted to go super cheap, you can cut these out of 1/8 inch MDF, medium density fiberboard. Just make sure you don't get that stuff wet because that sucks up moisture and water like a sponge. But MDF is super solid. It's very flat and very, very stable material. So I would have no reservations whatsoever slapping some double-sided tape on a piece of that and then sandpaper on the other side and make a sanding block out of 1/8 inch or maybe even 1/4 inch MDF. You'll be good to go and you'll be right as rain. And that way you can make it as big or as little sanding block as you want. Like for instance here, this is kind of a bigger sanding block. This is made out of 3/4 inch MDF, and like I said, I just have some. No, actually, this is kind of self-adhesive in here, but I had some double-sided tape on here that this side is stuck to, and this just side wraps around. But this is higher grit. I think this is like 320 or something like that, maybe 400 on this. And again, very, very flat, very stable stuff, and really inexpensive at your local hardware store. And they'll even cut it down for you in most places, like Home Depot, Lowe's. They'll have like a cutting table, like a panel cutter or something like that. Some will even have table saws for you to, or for them to cut it down for you. But yeah, you can use MDF if you want to go super inexpensive. So that's what I would definitely use. That'll help you keep straight angles, straight sharp bevels. So yeah, give it a shot. Give it a shot. Dwidget says patience also comes into play when sanding a sharp angle as well. 100% agree. 100% agree. Bailey says love them. Oh, the Madworks. Yeah, I bet. They also make what U-Star makes aluminum ones on Taobao. So we just got done doing like a short run through on Taobao last episode. So that's an option. Oh my God, that's an option as well. Excuse me, guys. Came out of nowhere. Ultimate Dyna, the price is right for that tool. Yeah. Oh, the one that Bailey listed. Let's take a look at this here real quick. The HLJ link. Oh, yeah, that's the Universal Cutter with Angle Cutting Guide. Who is that by? Is that the Wave one? Yeah, that's the Wave kind. So that one uses kind of the angled box cutter blades from what it looks like. There's another one, and I forget who it's by, but that particular cutter uses these Olfa style utility knife blades that you can actually get at Lowe's here in the US for really inexpensive. So that's if you had to get like a hand cutter like that, I would probably opt for the one that uses these style blades. Just I don't know, just because I like these blades, and since they're thinner, you're not going to get as much slop and bend in the blade when you come down. So God Hand, that's who makes them. Thank you, Bailey. Very expensive. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm not into those kind of cutters myself. I don't know why I don't see myself using those, but I don't know. It might be good for somebody else. I'm not going to knock it. Scupple says, absolutely the wisest piece of advice that applies to everything. Patience. Yeah. Space Rat 53, I'm actually in a class with a workshop portion, and they have a laser cutter. Look at you, Space Rat. Yeah, I mean, get some, this is what? This is 1/8 inch. I think that's 8th inch. Yeah, about 1/8 inch. Yeah, about 1/8 inch acrylic, which is a common thickness for acrylic. So, yeah, if you can get some and use that laser cutter, man, cut out some of these. Got them for days, man. That's good. That's good stuff. Twitch says, as it should be with good reason for the patience. Let's see. George Hale 1984, welcome back. What's up? Good to see you. He says, thanks for the primer and surfacing advice last time, guys. Awesome. Let's see. Dwidget says, there's plenty of offshoots now for those cutters. Yeah. Bailey says, there's a cheap one by Midwest Industries. I think has an angle guide like the Wave one. Love Wave, though. Yeah, Wave makes some pretty good stuff. Kenneth Sim, Ultimate Cutter by Godhand costs over $120. Seriously, I didn't know it was that expensive. I knew it was. I knew it was expensive, but I didn't know it was that expensive. Then fuck what I had said previously. You guys go with the Wave one. That ain't worth it. It's not worth it. Godhand, you guys make some good stuff, but it ain't that good. Cheers to you if you can get those prices. Dwidget says, maybe I can fix that. What's the item number? Yeah, Kenneth Sim, look it up. Look it up. Look it up, look it up, look it up. Okay, so what time? It's 12 already. That went by super quick. And we spent an hour looking at kits for kit bashing parts and stuff like that. But it's still been a good stream anywho. Yeah, fuck it. Let's keep going. What do you guys say? It's Friday, right? What do you guys have to do? You guys ain't doing nothing. Right? 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 I'm gonna keep going. Why not? If you guys are game to keep going, then I'm game to keep going. Let's keep going. Fuck it. Alright, so 1mm plastic sheet again. This is what we're gonna be using. And let's make the panel for this top part, shall we? Okay, this is right there at 13, just a hair under 13mm. So first things first, we're going to make sure that this is flat on this side. That looks pretty damn flat. We're going to drag it out just to about 13. And there we go. Anyway, we're going to use the Olfa utility knife. Super awesome utility knife. You can get these on Amazon on the link below, or onto the side if you're watching on Facebook. We're going to use this, make a couple scores, right like that. And score and snap. It's as easy as that. It's super, super easy. Super simple. And then chisel blade, because what's going to happen is when you cut these sides, or when you score these sides, the plastic will start to kind of curl in and up, and it's going to leave this kind of lip on the sides here that you can feel ever so slightly, and you'll see it come up with the chisel blade here. You just kind of turn it over. So here's the top side with the brand name on it. This is the bottom side. This is the side that you want facing up, right? You want this angle to ride the surface of the plastic. And then you just go along and watch. You'll see it cut that lip off of there. See that little curl coming up? That's that lip of plastic being shaved off of there. Now it's super, super flat. You want to go all the way around this thing just to make sure you got a completely flat surface, right? And there you go, just that little pigtail curl coming off of there. That will cause you so many headaches, you guys. It's very, very important to get that raised lip off of there, and even on both sides too. This side is actually pretty flat, so I lucked out big time there. So that's good. Donnie Baxter over there on Facebook, he says, keep going. He also says, I got those Olfa knives this week, and they are incredible. Yes, they are. I love these things. I swear. Let's see. Bailey says, no, hold on. I was looking for it. William Wilms, we got to get those numbers in for Dean. I love it. Good call, Will. Good call. Oh, William, did you get your book too? Because I sent that and it looked like it was there yesterday as well with your hat and shirt. Did you get that book, the book as well? Let me know if you did. Superset, the shoulder frame and armor of the MG Sniper 2, how would I extend them to get Alex-like shoulders? Ooh. Good one. William Williams, yes I did. Awesome. Thank you, man. So you want to extend the Sniper 2 shoulders to make them look more like Alex shoulders. That's heavy customization. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because the way the geometry is on the Sniper 2 shoulder, it's a very thin shoulder, kind of thin this way, and then obviously the frame is thin as well. And then on top of that, you've got this pivot point for the inner shoulder where the upper arm cradles into, and then the lower arm connects to that. So that's where all the connections are. Honestly, what I would probably do is to probably leave, if you have a master grade Alex or something like that, I would scrap the GM, the Sniper 2 armor. I would just scrap the armor altogether. Maybe cut the top off, but even then, who knows? And then graft on the Alex armor onto the inner frame like this. That's what I personally would do. Because you're going to have a much better time doing it that way than trying to extend both of these, all these parts, right? Because you're going to have to cut these at such a place where it's not going to be interfering with anything, and then you're going to have to cut these same parts, all of these, and then you're going to have to equally extend them, get them into registration properly, and then even then, it may not even look right. It may not be the look that you want to achieve. So by starting off with the inner base, keep this the way that it looks, right? And then just build off of that. That's what I would do. I would trim these little bump out pieces here, trim these down, flatten them out, trim it down, make it all look like one solid piece, and then start grafting on the Alex shoulder armor onto this particular inner frame part. Because what you'll do is you'll get the beautiful inner workings of this part, but then you'll get the look of the Alex armor, right? And then any weird voids or spaces or things like that, you can just kind of fill in with other things. You know, you can pad it out with plastic sheet or greebly parts or what have you. So that's what I would suggest. So that's not an easy thing to do, and quite frankly, I don't even know if it would be worth going through all that trouble for that look when you can just graft on the other armor onto this inner frame. Just honestly. So that's what I would say, Superset. Hopefully that helps. I don't know. But William Williams' shirt, hat, and book have all been delivered. Sweet. Hope you enjoy them, man. Thank you for your order. I appreciate it. Kenneth Sim, its price is 13,800 yen. Oh, no frickin' way. No, sir. No. I ain't paying that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, look at that. 116 USD. Come on. What? Nah. I just see, and that's the thing. Like, people swear by God hands. Like, oh my God, God hands are the best. I don't have to do any nub trimming or anything now. Ooh, right? I don't care who you are. I don't care what tool you use. I don't care if you use a freaking lightsaber to trim off the nubs on your models. You're gonna have to do some sanding or trimming or scraping or something. Something. You just got to. So I don't get the price for performance type of equation for the God hands. You guys have heard me talk about a wonderful gentleman by the name of Paul Budzik on YouTube. He has a really spectacular modeling channel, kind of one of those unknown gems, if you will. I highly, highly recommend that each one of you go and subscribe to this gentleman's channel, because he is an absolute master at explaining the ins and outs of techniques and things of that nature. I just love every single one of his videos. He recently, within the past couple months, did a review video of different nippers. And he reviewed, you know, kind of side cutters from different brands. So he reviewed Tamiya side cutter. He reviewed God hands. He reviewed Gundam Planets side cutters as well, nippers. And he liked God hands, but he said the one that he liked the most, the one he would recommend the most, are the version 123s from Tamiya. Yeah. So, and they're really inexpensive at this point. They're $26 on Amazon right now. Link in the description, by the way. I unfortunately do not have that version of Tamiya's nippers. I have, I think it's the 347 model I have. I could be wrong with that number though. But just an insanely talented gentleman. Just knows his shit inside and out. So I highly, highly, highly recommend Paul Budzik on his channel on YouTube. I forget off the top of my head what his channel is called, but it's just a wonderful, wonderful channel. Scale Model Workshop. Yeah, Scale Model Workshop. Right now he's only got about 9,100 subscribers. That for me is just a travesty, because I think everybody should subscribe to him. So I highly recommend, if you guys want really great informative knowledge, go subscribe to this gentleman's channel. He's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I don't know him. I've never interacted with him. I just really love his videos, man. Really love his videos. Plain and simple. That's all. That's all I got. That's all I got. So, anyway. So, I digress, right? We got a little off tangent there. And Donnie Baxter, Paul Budzik is the best. There you go, man. Secondary opinion. Thank you, Donnie. Appreciate that, buddy. Bailey, love my Tamiya slim jaw nippers. Cut smooth and close enough. I'm always going to file or sand the rest of the nubs anyways. Exactly. I totally do that too. I totally agree with that. Like I said, if you're not using like some sort of surgical laser cutting device to get a perfectly shorn nub off of that plastic, you're gonna have to do some secondary filing or shaving or scraping or something to get that part smooth. It's just part of modeling, man. No pair of nippers, not even the fabled God hands, will get you into a place where you don't have to do that, right? So, Bailey says, I will be picking up the USA Gundam Store nippers when they drop, though. I want to as well. Adam, if you're watching, man, come on, man. Get us some nippers, dog. Killing me. But I love Adam. He's a good dude. He's a good friend. Good friend of mine. So, all right. We continue. All right. I want to make sure, first and foremost, that this plastic, this sheet that what? Frickin' hell. Art Inc. CBYDB. What's going on, man? Thank you for that. Appreciate the follow or the subscribe on YouTube. Welcome. Welcome. All right. Welcome to the family. I dropped parts, so I was a bit distracted, especially when your notification came in. But hey, welcome. All right. So, man, that fits pretty good, right? Look at that. Ooh, look, that just, yeah, that's like butter right there. That's sweet. Look at that. Wow. That's what the doctor ordered right there, ladies and gents. That is looking good. I don't even have to do any secondary sanding. I mean, that fits like a glove right now. I couldn't have done that. Oh, that's Donnie. Oh, Donnie Baxter. Okay. That makes sense. Why didn't I notice that? Probably because I was distracted by dropping parts all over the damn place. Donnie, thank you. Appreciate that, man. Hey, you know what? I saw... Donnie, are you the one that uses that splash paints? Let me know if that's you. I thought it was. And I'm looking between YouTube and Facebook now for a response. I'm like, which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? Scuffle says, next build I'll use toenail clippers since I'll be sanding it anyways. God damn it, Scuffle. Donnie. Tiz. Okay, awesome. Good. Hey, you know what? I just ordered like 7 bottles of that paint to try out. Is it good? Like, I've seen reviews of it and people say it's pretty legit, right? But how is it? Like, give me kind of your honest answer here, man. HRO148, what was the guy's channel you mentioned? It is called Scale Model Workshop. It's by a gentleman named Paul Budzik. Scale Model Workshop. Donnie says, I love it. I hope you enjoy it as well. Dude, yeah, I hope so. We'll see, man. We'll see, right? Bailey says, also he drops some mad skills and knowledge on his Instagram stories. Who's that? Paul Budzik? I didn't know he had Instagram. Shit. Donnie says it is very thin and sprays very nicely. Cool. Pre-thin. Yeah, I saw that. 30 milliliter per bottle. And it's a decent price too. And it's US based, which shocked me. So, yeah, maybe think SMS. Yeah, that's kind of what, kind of the mental comparison I saw when I saw that. And I think I saw that on your Instagram page. Oh, Bailey, you meant, okay. Sorry, Bailey. I'm just in La La Land right now. I'm trying to carry on conversation on two fronts here. Sorry. But yeah, so yeah, I ordered like 7 bottles of that stuff late last night, and hopefully it's pretty cool. So give it a shot and see what happens, because for 30 milliliters pre-thinned, I think the price per bottle was around $5.99, $6.99. Not bad, not too bad, and he's got some pretty damn cool colors too. So yeah, should be interesting. Should be interesting. Now, Donnie, are you friends with the guy? What's his name? Samuel or something? Because I know I talked to Justin about this particular topic, and he had mentioned, I think he was mentioning you. Twitch just says, Tim, you got a link for that. What, the splash paints or the what? It sprays matte. You have to top coat it to your liking. Yeah, that's cool. I top coat everything anyway, so it's not a big deal. Jeremy Jow. Spray gunner. There you go, Jeremy. Thank you, man. Yeah, splash-paints.com is also that. And yes, we are acquaintances. He's a good dude. Yeah, he seems like it. Samuel, right? I believe that's his name. So, I did a little bit of research, before I bought, and, yeah, seems cool. All right, rock and roll. Well, like I said, I hope to get good results out of that. I bought like 7 bottles of it. I bought like a nice red, a blue, yellow, and a white. Actually, 2 different shades of white, and then 2 different shades of gray. So obviously, I'm going to be painting a Gundam. I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be testing it out on the high grade Gundam that I'm going to do my tutorial series on. So we'll test it out and we'll see, right? So I want to give it a shot, because especially since it's American based, that's pretty damn cool. That is pretty damn cool that Americans are getting on the lacquer front. So yeah, fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. He says the primers are nice too, in my opinion. Now the primers, they're two-step primers. So basically you mix the primer and then the catalyst, right? My number one concern with the 2-part mixes are when it comes to stripping, right? Because we all need to strip parts. And from what I've seen, and I've never tried these before, from what I've seen, the 2-parters are insanely tough, and they're very resilient to stripping off of stripping chemicals, right? So like for Mr. Hobby, for instance, I use 91% isopropyl alcohol. That cuts through it like a hot knife through butter. Is that the same with the 2-part primers like that in your experience? Absolutely. So it does strip super easily? Is that what I'm understanding? Hopefully. Waiting is always the toughest part. No. Okay. So they don't strip easily? I don't know. That's always my main worry, is that, I need them to strip off, Because, you know what? Sometimes I just don't like a color. It sticks. Yeah, okay. I gotcha. Then that might not be, the primer might not be for me. I might want to stick with Mr. Surfacer that just strips off super easy then. But now, like, for cars, like, for what they're made for, obviously that's a completely different story. You know, if you're going to be painting a car and you know exactly what color it's going to be, chances are you're not going to have to strip it off, right? But with Gundam, I mean, you know, you can color it, shit, whatever color of the rainbow that you want, right? You can get creative and everything. So, yeah, that's always my kind of main concern, is that it, something, if I invest in something like that, it needs to be easily removed, because I am very quick to change my mind, especially when it comes to colors. So, yeah, but the paints look great. The paints look awesome. Yes, to be completely honest, I use a lot of Mr. Surfacer 1200 as well. Cool. There you go. Bailey says, yes, shout out to Tex Marquise. Also, Spray Gunner has Tim's beloved Mr. Color line. Fuck you, Bailey. As well as the Badger Style and Res I recommend for acrylic primer. My beloved Mr. Color line. Dude, what can I say? I like Mr. Color. What kill me, you know? Jeez. That's funny, though. That's funny, though. But hey, Donnie, thank you for the info, brother. I really appreciate that, because when I saw that it was, like I said, when I saw this paint company was American based, and they're making, you know, they're making, you know, solvent based, lacquer based paints. I was just like, I was super intrigued, and I mean, that right there caught my interest. Just the fact that they were American based, and then when I saw the colors, I was just like, you got some strong colors in here, especially, guys, especially color shifting colors too, like you know, and they've got different candies and stuff like that. So if for some reason you can't find what you're looking for in terms of like SOS or SMS, then it seems like this splash paints is the way to go. So I'm gonna test it out, and I'm gonna give you guys my honest opinion on it. I'm gonna spray some spoons when it gets here, and yeah, we're gonna go hog wild on it. That's like the word, the phrase of the night, hog wild. I don't know why I'm saying it tonight, but yeah, Oregon. Yeah, I saw that it was based in Oregon, and I honestly was this close to buying it off Spray Gunner, since I'm East Coast and they're down in Florida, but you know, I said to myself, I said, you know, I'll just buy straight from the company. Why not? See what happens. Test it out and see what it's like, you know. But like I said, I kind of did a little bit of research on the product, and I saw a few reviews, especially there was a British guy that did a review, and he said, you know, it sprayed really well. Coverage was nice, the whole 9 yards, colors vibrant, the whole thing. And yeah, it looked pretty legit to me. So I'm looking forward to trying them out. So right now, guys, I'm not even on camera here. I'm just trying to get this piece straight as possible here. So I'm using my, you know, solid 1, 2, 3 block here, and just getting some super glue applied to this thing. Now, the big test. That's, shoot, which is which here? Okay, so it's this one that needs, that's the holy one. This is the standard one. Okay. Make sure you keep your parts in line. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty damn good. We need to trim trim these edges off here so it will fit flush in there. But so far, the fitment right there is just straight up like butter. Like butter, baby. All right, good stuff there. Donnie says, Oregon for the win. Yeah, I saw it was based out of Oregon. Jeremy Jow. What's up, Jeremy? Thank you for watching, brother. Hope the wife and family are doing well. Maybe you can try Gravity Colors too. I've picked up some of their colors because they match auto colors, but I want to try Splash now to compare. Yeah, one of the cool things about Splash is that you can get your own custom color done. Pretty damn inexpensively too. Like you get, I think, what is it, like I want to say like a 50 milliliter bottle for $14.99. If there, I guess you need like for auto colors, you need like a color code or something like that. You send it off to the guys at Splash Paints, and yeah, I mean, they make your own custom color. Like, that's awesome. That, I mean, like, I think that's pretty damn sweet. You know, so if there's a kick-ass color that you wanna try and paint your model, and if you have a color code from a automotive manufacturer, sheesh, $14.99 for a one-off color like that, that's a pretty damn good price. I don't know of any other company that makes custom colors for you, or at least makes them available in that kind of one-off type of arrangement. So that's a strong type of selling point in my eyes anyways. So yeah, food for thought, people. Food for thought. But you need like a color code or something like that. Probably an automotive color code. Donnie, if you're watching, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know how that works exactly. I just saw mention color code. I don't know if you can shoot him like a PMS color or something like that. Like a color block or something. I'm assuming it's a color code from cars, but still, just the fact that you can get a custom color done to your specifications, like no one else has that color in the fucking world. That's strong, you guys. It's really, really strong. Really strong. Jeremy Jow. Oh, Gravity Colors is US too. Yeah. I've seen Gravity Colors mentioned here and there. I don't know enough about them. Donnie says I have just about the same info you just mentioned. Okay, cool. So yeah, I assume it's limited to automotive colors, like color codes. But I mean, who knows? Reach out and see. I might, depending on what the quality's like. I mean, everybody says they're pretty good. Donnie says they're awesome. So, shit, I might have to go that route. Think about it. Custom color for your GWC kit. What? Like, you get okay, so we're just thinking off the cuff now. So think about this Johnny Ridden. Let's go one camera here real quick. Think about this Johnny Ridden 2.0, right? In like a sweet Ferrari red color. Come on. Just shining and glossy and sweet. Come on. That would blow my mind, right? Now, granted, that's not what I'm going to paint this one. But I'm just kind of throwing ideas out there for you guys to kind of maybe pick up and run with it. Or maybe like I don't know, maybe like a deep British racing green. Come on. Like one of the weird Land Rover colors or something like that. Yeah, guys. Yeah. That would be amazing for this little guy. for like a Char kit or a Sazabi or Sinanju or something like that. Yeah, that could be really damned interesting. Really damned interesting. Zyfan over there on Twitch, he says, did your GBWC kits arrive? Some did. Some did. So I showed this on last night's stream, the Briarland Custom. That's one of the kits that came in, and I snapped that pretty quick. And this will be used for parts. This is not going to live out its days as a actual model kit, but this will be parted out. I've got another kit that I received that's going to be snapped very soon, probably over the weekend. But this one was in the backlog. This one I was going to use anyway. Probably not a big surprise to anybody at this point. This one, along with a Sazabi that I had in my backlog already. Both of those are going into the GBWC entry. And then, man, fingers crossed. I hope that the rest of the kits will come soon. Zyfan, thank you for the subscribe on YouTube. I know you're over there on Twitch, but hey, welcome to YouTube as well, man. Yeah, I hope the rest of the kits come rather soon, because there's one main kit that I really desperately need for kind of the main mobile suit, right? It's going to be kit bashed with a Sazabi. Oh, it was a Twitch sub. It came through on my side red for YouTube. Oh well, thank you anyway, Zyfan. Thank you for the subscribe on Twitch. I appreciate that, brother. That's awesome of you. Yeah, it's a weird notification error or something. Who knows? Anyway, thank you again. But yeah, so the main suit will be kit bashed with the Sazabi. It's going to be a big boy. And then I'm the secondary suit in this kind of, I don't necessarily want to call it a diorama, because it's not necessarily a diorama, it's kind of more like an action scene. The secondary unit will be this little guy, and he'll be tricked out for days. This will not be what he looks like in the end, let's put it that way. He'll be completely customized out, very ace unit-ish, if you will. So yeah, Dweja says gonna make it 5 times faster, Tim. You damn right, maybe even 6, dude. Nice. Nozaku boy James, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Hope your stream went well. I saw that you guys kind of did a live stream, you and the boys, so hopefully that went really well. So saw that was cool. So yeah, so the GBWC entry is coming along. I got some, the 3 kits snapped so far. I've got 1 more out there waiting for me to get snapped up, and yeah, good stuff. James says, just finished our stream, was good fun. Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. So yeah, and then, man, the Jesta, I want to finish this Jesta this weekend. That's the plan. Whether that's going to come to fruition or not, it has yet to be seen. Best laid plans of mice and men and all, right? But, hey, you know what? Let's continue on, because we're having fun here tonight. I don't have anything else really to do, so we're just going to keep plugging along for as long as we want to. It's, what, 12:30? We've been at this for, what, 2.5 hours already? Just keep going. Screw it. Right? We're going to have some fun. All right, so I need to trim out these bits on the side here, because they are in the way of this extension piece, right? These side pieces here. So now that I have this in place, what I can do is use this as a makeshift cutting guide to get super accurate cuts now. So I'll just place my blade on top parallel to this, and then I can just kind of lightly score into that plate, and that, I don't know if you guys can see that, that's where I'll cut it now, right? Bailey says I'm going to check out 3-year-old will be upset at butt crack of dawn tomorrow. Dude, yeah, take care, Bailey. I totally understand, brother. We're just gonna be chilling here, so completely all good, man. So go and yeah, definitely take care of business. So have a good night, brother. Have a good weekend also. So let's check and see how that worked here. Ooh, that worked out really quite well. You can see it straight down that fit nicely, right? So now we're going to do the same thing to the other side here. We're going to use this this extension piece to trim that front plate. All right. So in this case, we're gonna switch over to the chisel blade here. Let's get in focus. We're going to line it up with that, and then we're just gonna score that. Ooh, and it went cut right through. Oh well, happy accident, I guess. Right. We're gonna pop that in there. Okay, so that it's still a little proud on this side. You can see how that's stuck out a little bit, right? You can see that gap in there, and that's due to this front part right here still being a little proud from that. So we're gonna strip this piece off of here, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna use just the regular hobby knife as a guide. We're gonna set it on focus. We're gonna set the blade of it right here on this top part, and then we're just going to gently slice down as straight as possible, keeping that blade on that surface. And then now hopefully that should provide enough clearance for this plate to sit in there. Much better. Much better. Not perfect, but much better. I dig it. Terry T, hello everyone. What's up, Terry? Good to see you. We're chilling. We're going along tonight. We just having fun, just hanging out. Zyfan says I will be heading to Toy Fair at Javits in a couple weeks. Hopefully there is some cool new stuff. Yeah, Toy Fair is always fun, man. I see pictures and coverage of that, and I've always wanted to hit that up and go to something like that, but you know, obviously never had the opportunity. But it's almost like going to a modeling convention. What's that? Jeremy Jow. Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate that, brother. But always, you know, like I said, always saw the coverage from the Toy Fair, and I know my daughter would get a super big kick out of going to something like that, but yeah, never had the opportunity, probably never will, to be honest with you. I always thought something like that was for like vendors and stuff too. I don't know, I could be wrong. And like companies, like B2B type stuff. Yeah, it's more for vendors. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That was my impression. Okay, let's get this big old sanding block here, and let's really flatten this sucker out, shall we? So like I said before, guys, this sanding block is 3/4 inch MDF, double-sided tape, and then this is like, I think 320, maybe 400 grit right here. And this provides a nice stable surface, right? Really nice stable surface to get a nice flat sand on this. No, Zaku Boy James says you need to get a file play, man. Dude, I so want one. Like a nice Minishima file plate or something like that. I've had my eye on them for a while, dude. Yeah. It's just never happened. So, but it's definitely on the wish list. That's for damn sure. Yeah, see, now that's nice and straight and flat, unlike this one. Whoops, on camera. See, this side right here is nice and straight and flat, right? Unlike this one, it's got some jagged edges and stuff like that that we're going to have to come back and fix, which sucks, but what are you going to do? Yeah, right? James says, well, don't worry, you made one, right? Sort of. Now, if I really wanted to get stupid, I could bring out this big boy that I made. This is just a bigger piece of MDF with, I think this is, I'm pretty sure this is probably 600, maybe 400, I'm not sure. But yeah, super flat, super stable. But yeah, I would love to get a filing plate, like a Minishima filing plate or something like that. Those are pretty sweet. All right, let's trim that off of there, and now we're gonna finish sand this piece. Let's start with the bastard file first. Let's get that in play. Superset 5, he says, quick question on painting. I've been thinking on painting the blue visor on my Master Grade Jagan in the style of Master Chief's visor in Halo 4 and 5. Would that make logical sense for a 360-degree cockpit, trading the mono eye for a visor-like camera for the full range of vision? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the thing that you have to think about, Superset, is that, you know, the way that, and I hate to use the term gunplay is freedom. It's fucking lame. I really hate that term. And for those of you that like it, I don't mean to knock you, but I just think it's a dumb term and a dumb phrase. But anyway, I digress. But the spirit of it makes sense. Let me explain. So, all the shit is science fiction, right? There's so many derivative mobile suits, side stories, customs, one-offs, variations here and there that who knows what's real and what's not, right? Quote unquote. So, yeah, honestly, I think that's totally acceptable and believable. Now, if you were to, you know, paint it like, you know, like a full visor, you know, there are definite options, and I'm looking for one of those options now. I might have misplaced it. It's around here somewhere. Anyway, they what is it? Duct Tape, the brand Duck, D-U-C-K tape, Duck Tape, makes these really cool kind of decorative tapes, right? And you can get those in craft stores and stuff like that. Well, they make this one that is basically like an Aurora style film, and it's actually really good. I've tested it out and kind of mocked it up on several different, you know, full visors, and it works tremendous, because the front side and the back side are both that same finish, with most of the time when you see like Aurora films, the back side is like white or black or what have you, but for the Duct Tape, it's kind of holographic on both sides, so it's actually quite convenient, because you can stick it to the inside of the visor and have that full, you know, kind of nice, clear, glassy look on the outside. You could do it that way. You could also paint the inside of the visor as well if you wanted to. An option is to, believe it or not, nail polish. Yes, your standard nail polish, because all nail polish is lacquer-based paint. That's it. Comes off. Think about it. It comes off with acetone. It dries super quick, and it levels. It's lacquer-based paint, solvent-based paint. Now, mind you, it's not made for models, but it can be used with models. I would, since it levels, it already has a, obviously a leveling agent within most of them. So I wouldn't use leveling thinner. I would use probably like a Mr. Color normal, just a normal Mr. Thinner. Because when I tested that out a few years ago, I used Mr. Leveling Thinner, and it took forever for it to cure, like 8+ hours. And I think the reason why is because it had too much retarder in, mixed in with it. Because I thinned it down with Mr. Leveling Thinner, which has retarder in it. It probably already has retarder in the mix already, since it self-levels on, nails and stuff. So I would use just normal Mr. Thinner with it. But then after that, you just mix it like any other hobby paint and you just go to town. Easy peasy. So, Terry T, how do you thin nail polish? There you go. Yeah, Mr. Thinner. Regular Mr. Thinner, not Mr. Leveling Thinner. Regular Mr. Thinner. Yeah. And there's some really trick colors within the nail polish range. This one I just got at the local drugstore. I think it was $1.99. It's by Sinful Colors, made in the USA. And it's just this weird... Here, let's go one camera so you guys can see it a little bit better. Or actually, no. Let's go right underneath here. That way you guys can see it even better. Let's get the big old sanding block out of the way. And see, there it is. And you can see this. This is this really cool kind of just color shifting, amazing looking color, right? And I sprayed this on a gloss black, and it just came out just stupid nice. So yeah, $1.99 for this whole bottle. You can't go wrong. Sinful Colors, made in the US. Half a fluid ounce, so there's not a ton in here. I think, what is that, 15 milliliter. So, you're roughly getting a little bit more than you would get in a Mr. Hobby jar, right? So, not terrible. Not terrible. I wouldn't necessarily use it as a hobby paint alternative. But for weird colors, kind of like this, or something super vibrant, it's an option. It's an absolute option. So, give it a shot. You never know. But yeah, I think something like that would be kind of cool painted on your visor superset. So, yeah, I would go with it, man. Run with it. It's your idea. Dude, yeah. Accomplish freedom. Yeah. Terry T, I cringe whenever I hear that phrase. Yeah, me too. A lot of people do. And I understand I hate to say it, but I understand the spirit of the phrase. But God, it's so annoying. So goddamn annoying. But, I get it. I get it. Alright, so I think I see the issue here. I think this side, it's not completely straight on here. This side is poking out a little bit, right? M. Nielsen, that a sweet looking color for a Gundam. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a pearlescent sort of color. So you would need to use it over another base color, like like a base black or something like that. It's not going to look great on every color, right? But for darker colors, I think it would probably work pretty good. Yeah. Navy blue, black, maybe a dark gray, dark red, darker colors. Yeah. Nozaku Boy James over there on YouTube says, before SMS chameleon paints I used to use nail polish. Works well. There you go. Zyfan, am I allowed to link another website on here? Found the tape you were talking about on your Amazon page. Yeah, absolutely. Sorvan, go ahead. I'll make sure it works. Yeah, see? Yeah, I don't mind. It's all good. Yeah, I got it in the Amazon link, but yeah, if you say it someplace else, yeah, rock and roll with it. Yeah, see, there you go. Boom. Zyphan. Thank you, Zyphan. Appreciate that. All right, let's check this fit now. That's getting there. Okay, so I think I need to bring this angle down on this side a little bit more. And what I'm doing is I'm tapering it down this way. Trying, and this is, you know, obviously an extreme, but I'm slightly tapering it down here because this side was sticking out. This back corner was sticking out a little bit because my placement wasn't 100% perfect. And that's, unfortunately, that's where you need good placement, is something like this. But now, that looks like it fits a little bit better. Yeah. What's up, Mikkel? Mikkel says, still working on that shoulder armor, Tim. LOL, nail polish paint is awesome for special projects. Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I'm still working on this thing, plugging along, because, you know, we were talking a little bit, showing some kits earlier in the stream, and just shooting the shit with people. What's up with you, Mikkel? What are you doing? What are you up to? What are you building? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Did you take little Andrew out? Get him shit-faced for his 21st birthday? I hope so. And left his ass someplace. Let him walk home. Little Andrew. He's probably out getting trashed right now. Because it's his 21st birthday. Alright, let's see how this fits. What do we have? Oh yeah. That's a little bit better. So I think what we need to do, in addition to tapering this corner down on this piece, I think we need to taper this shoulder down this way, right? There we go. I think we need to taper it this way. Carlo Castro, hi everyone. I thought I missed the straight. Missed the straight? You mean the stream? We're going long tonight, Carlo. We're almost hitting the 3-hour mark right now. So I figured, you know what? We're having fun. We're just chilling, hanging out. Why not just keep going? People are watching. People are building. People are talking. It's fun. It's fun. I enjoy it. Oh, yeah. There we go. That did the trick. Now we have a much tighter tolerance. See, okay, so let me explain what was going on here for you guys. So this shoulder plate right here, this right in here, this was tapered out. This corner, this downside corner right here was tapered out this way, a little bit too much. So sanded that back, made this a little bit straighter now, and now it just kind of popped that gap, and now it fits really nice. Sometimes it's just, you know, sometimes a fine-tuned sanding like that, guys, makes a world of difference, right? So yeah. Mikkel says, little Andrew is somewhere drunk, trapped in a dark room. My God, I hope so. Or in somebody's trunk. Jesus. Snapping us his hobby. Nice. Nice. Superset says, speaking of birthdays, I turn 28 tomorrow. Well, happy early birthday, man. Well, no, hey, happy birthday now, because it's past midnight. Or at least past midnight my time. So, happy birthday, man. Let's see, I've got 1 month until my birthday. So, if you guys want to wish me a birthday in 1 month, there you go. February 25th. Happy birthday to me. LOL at little A. Yeah, right, Carlo? Awesome. Still no Jesta. You know, we talked about that a little bit earlier. I still have a couple things to do. Tying together loose ends on the base is just kind of very frustrating. But I'm looking to release it at some point next week. So, yeah. Hopefully by this time next week, you guys will have full-on access to look at the Jesta. What can I say? I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with how it came out. It's nice and dirty. So, yeah. Nice and dirty. Ultraman Dyna. Dude! What? So, we'll see. Mine is 22nd of February. Nice. Well, hey, happy birthday, man. Happy early birthday, shall we say. Us Pisces got to stick together, right? Nice. And then I think Zach's is the 26th. Zach Aurelius. He's like the day after. His birthday's like the day after mine. So, yeah. All of us sensitive Pisces. We're sensitive. Wow, that was creepy, right? Sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to go there. Who's messaging me? Who's doing this? Oh, Bailey. Hey, Tim, when you get... Oh, rock and roll. Pardon me, gentlemen. Bailey is messaging me. He needs advice. Oh, that. Okay. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. Looks like he's got a nice back leg here that he's cutting out. Wunderbar. Okay. Describe those and then keep... Yeah, okay, so that's what I would do too. Sorry, folks. Bailey needs my help. He needs... So basically what he's asking, and I don't think I'm giving away the farm on this, is that he needs help cutting out a piece on kind of a curved surface that is somewhat complex. Yeah, okay, so that's another issue. There we go. Okay, so this actually is a very, very good point, guys. So on curved surfaces, what he's having a problem with is cutting out an intricate shape on a curved surface, and like a compound curved surface. So something similar to like a spoon, right? So where's the tape? Now the problem that you're going to run into. And just really quickly, so the problem that you're going to run into is that this thick tape only has so much surface area that it can grab onto, right? So if you want to properly cut out a complex shape and a complex curve like this, trim down the tape into thinner strips, and then that will grip on to the surface of that curve, and you'll be good to go. Yeah. Mikkel says use an ultrasonic cutter. Okay, rich boy. There we go. Cool. He'll try that. Sweet. Rock and roll. they make special tapes for it. They do, but for curves and stuff, they're usually of the vinyl variety, and I used to have some. I think I threw it away though, and it wasn't great. You know, it wasn't. Unfortunately, it wasn't great. It wasn't nearly as good as your standard Dymo or High-Q style scribing tapes. This stuff is thick and it's pretty rigid, right? So you can get a really nice clean edge when you go to chisel it. But with that rigidity and with that thickness comes the problem of sticking this to curved surfaces. Because with the curve, you're only going to grip onto maybe this thin little bit right here in the middle, and then the rest of it's just going to kind of float out in the ether, right? But if you trim it, if you trim this lengthwise, you know, down to maybe like a 2 millimeter strip or something like that, then that 2 millimeters is going to comfortably grasp that curved surface, and then you're going to have a much harder edge to be able to scribe to rather than something that's just kind of wobbling out in space. So that was Bailey's main point of difficulty. So I just suggested that to him. He says, cool, he'll try it. So there we go. Quick little tutorial, you guys. Easy peasy. There you go. There you go. William Wims, now we know your birthday, no matter what you will need to stream that night so we can wish you happy birthday. Yeah, it's on a... I don't know if... See, okay, so the problem is I have a staff meeting the weekend before. My birthday is the 25th. It's on a Monday. I have a staff meeting that weekend before. So at this point, I don't know if I'm going to be back in time to stream on Monday. I know there won't be a Friday stream before that weekend because I'll be at a staff meeting. It's like a 3-day staff meeting. It's all hands. And it's down in fucking Alabama. Sorry for those of you living in Alabama. Anyway, so I got to go down there for an all-company staff meeting that weekend. So I don't know if I'm going to be back on Monday in time for a stream, but I'm going to damn well try. I might come back Sunday night, and if I do, then there'll definitely be a stream on Monday night. But we'll see. So yeah. Mikkel over there on YouTube, M. Samuza. Tim, are you going to use the water slide decals that Bandai have for the GM Sniper 2, or are you going to make your own? Well, I mean, this isn't going to live out as a GM Sniper 2, so I'm probably either going to make my own or use something I still have on the shelf. We'll see. We'll see. Zyfan, they make special tapes for it. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. James says just free-handed. Haha. Nice. Terry T, that's good advice. I was trying to figure out how to do that on my Zaku. Yeah, and that's kind of what Bailey was running into. Mikkel says, oh, I didn't know he was doing a panel line on a curve area. Yeah. Carlo Castro, I have that issue with my high-grade dual armor. Thanks, Tim. You're welcome, Carlo. Ultraman Dyna, Sweet Home, Alabama. It wasn't that sweet, man. So I actually was born, bred, and raised in Maryland, where I live now. But for 2 years, I moved down to bumfuck Alabama for work, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun at all. I hated it, every second of it. We were in this little sleepy college town called Jacksonville, and our neighbors were great. Don't get me wrong. The neighborhood we lived in was amazing. The house we lived in was pretty decent. I didn't have any space for modeling, unfortunately, but besides the point, it just, oh man, it just wasn't our style at all. It for us was a complete cultural switch. It just, it wasn't us. Wasn't us. And then my wife got laid off 2 months after we moved down there from the job that she secured so we could move down there, which then sucked ass. So what are you going to do? So anyway, but we moved back here, and we've been back for, what, 6, 7 years now? Yeah. I'm back home. I love it here in Maryland. I was born, like I said, born, bred, and raised here, just a few miles away from where I live now. So this is home to me. So, yeah, dude. Ultraman Dyna, just the song. Oh, I get it. I get it. But trust me, it wasn't Sweet Home Alabama for me, bro. No Zaku Boy. Anyway, man, I'm out. Have a good night. Thank you, brother. Thank you for watching. Have fun. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Zyfan over there on Twitch says, mind if I ask what kind of company you work for? Yes. I work for an automotive consulting firm. So, I don't do automotive consulting. I do graphic design for the company, but yeah, that's what we do. It's fun. I like my job. I can basically work from anywhere as long as I have my laptop and an internet connection. So, yeah. So there we go. Let's see. Young Bonbon, thank you for the follow over there on Twitch. Welcome to the family. That's awesome. Thank you for watching. Let's see. Terry T. Ha! I got stuck in Alabama once because they got ½ inch of snow and they shut down the city. Yes! And declared a state of emergency. Yeah. And that's all it takes down there, man, because they do not have any sort of snow removal apparatus or anything. They don't even sell like snow shovels or ice melt or anything like that in hardware stores. So we moved. Okay, so funny story. Let me tell this just real quick. So when we moved down there, we moved down in, I want to say we moved down in October or November. And this was several years ago. Like I said, we've been back for like 6, 7 years, I think now. But anyway, we moved down there, and 2 days after we moved into the house, it snowed. In Alabama. Mid-Alabama. And we're not like up in the mountains or anything like that. We were like flatlands, right? So it freaking snowed. And all these Alabama people were running around like chickens with their heads cut off, like, oh my God, the sky is falling! And I kid you not, there were people out shoveling their driveways with spade shovels, like dirt shovels, the shovels that you dig holes in the ground with. They were trying to shovel like a ½ inch, an inch of snow with those types of shovels. I was like, what is going on? So, we brought our snow shovels with us because we didn't want to throw them away, right? So we're out there and we're just pushing the snow off of our driveway. It's just powdery stuff too, so it was like nothing. So all these neighbors of ours are just like, oh my God, can we borrow that? So our snow shovel was passed around. It got prostituted out to like probably 24 homes in our neighborhood, clearing these driveways and everything. It was pretty funny. It helped us meet our neighbors, so that was kind of a good thing, I guess. But yeah, I can totally relate, Terry. I can totally relate to that. So, Rex Smith, damn, went to the bar and came back. Tim is still streaming strong. Nice. Welcome back, Rex. Yeah, man, we're having fun, man. We're doing our thing, right? So, telling stupid Alabama stories at this point. Dwidget, yay, story time with Tim. Nice. All right, let's go back to 2 cameras, shall we? What time is it? It's 1:12. Look at that. We've officially passed the 3-hour mark, folks. Nice. But yeah, that was Alabama for me. So, it is what it is. It's all good. All right, let's check with this piece here because we glued this piece up earlier. And that's looking pretty good. Where's the crap X-Acto knife of mine? Where'd I put it? Like I said, the desk right now, the whole room right now is a absolute pigsty. It's getting on my nerves now. Bandai parts. What the hell's that doing there? Here it is. Okay, cool. So I need to check the consistency of this stuff. That's still soft. So we're not gonna play with this piece just yet because that super glue, since we laid it on pretty thick, is still curing in that gap. So I don't want to touch it right now. Not right now. Rex Smith, he says, if it snows down here in Texas, the grocery stores sell out of bread and water like we're going to get snowed in. Dude, absolutely. Yeah. Carlo Castro, Tim, I thought you did voiceover. I do voiceovers. That's just one part of my job. I technically am the job title that I currently have is brand manager. So it's all encompassing. I'm the company creative. I do graphic design. I do video, photography. Mostly right now, I do e-learning course production, and that's where I do voiceovers for that stuff. So I put on my voiceover voice, and I do voiceovers. What can we do to help your customers? You know, stuff like that. You know, I do different voices and things. So yeah, that's part of my job. Just a small part of my job. I do a lot of stuff. So, but yeah. Zyfan says, we have been getting a crap ton of snow in Michigan. Yeah, dude, you guys in the kind of Midwest and kind of that northern region have been getting shit on in terms of snow. Man, thankfully, we haven't gotten much of that here. It's kind of gone north of us to like upstate New York and upstate Pennsylvania and stuff like that. So I'm down here in Maryland, bro. I don't need any of that shit. I don't like snow at all. I don't like it on the ground. I don't like it in my driveway, and I especially don't like it on the roads that I drive. I don't need it. I don't want it. Hard pass. Hard pass. Should just move to California. But then I got to deal with earthquakes and wildfires. What are you going to do? Anyway. Y-Rag Gumpla. What's up, Gary? Welcome. Carlos says, LOL, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, it's sometimes awesome. Sometimes it's awesome. It can be goddamn frustrating, too. Because I don't work with people that are uniquely keen and familiar with what I do or how I do things. So, yeah, sometimes it's frustrating. Yeah. HRO 148 and the insane taxes. Yeah, taxes here in Maryland are pretty high, but the one thing that I will say, I don't mind. And the reason why I don't mind the taxes being high in Maryland is because we actually do get our money's worth. Case in point, when we moved to Alabama, and taxes in Alabama are very low. But when we moved down there, you could see it, you know, in terms of, but I think HRO was talking about taxes in California. But we have high taxes here in Maryland too. So trust me, I get the connection. But still, I digress. But moving down to Alabama for 2 years, there would be potholes in major roads that would go unfixed for months. Just months, right? But here in Maryland, you know, you get a pothole just even on like a neighborhood road or a secondary road or something like that, you call it in and they're out here within like 24, 48 hours filling it in, patching it in. Which, I mean, I can't complain about that. You know what I mean? The infrastructure here in Maryland is decent. It's not great. I don't think it's great anywhere in the U.S., unfortunately, right now, but it's decent. You know, thankfully we don't have any bridges collapsing or anything like that, or any of that fun stuff. But you know what? I gladly pay my taxes here in Maryland, because we do get our money's worth, I think, comparatively to you know, someplace, you know, like Alabama or something like that, who obviously doesn't have the taxes that we have, but comparatively don't have the infrastructure set up either. So I don't mind paying my taxes for services that I'm getting in return, right? So, and you're talking snow removal and snow preparation, like here in the county that I live in, they are very proactive in terms of snow and ice and stuff like that in preparation. So they'll have the salt trucks out like the night before or before the storm hits, spraying the road with kind of like a salt brine kind of solution, like this liquid solution, and you can see it on the roads when they do it, because it kind of sticks to the roads and it's a little tacky, but it helps to prevent ice and snow building up on the road. And I can't complain. I dig it. You know, they're being proactive. Like, yeah, I'll pay money for that. Cool. So, yeah. Gary says, yeah, Cali, we deal with earthquake and wildfire in the summer. Yeah, dude, I've been out there. It's not fun. HRO 148, I'm in California. Yeah, no, I got it. I was just kind of comparing here to Maryland too. Rex Smith, you can move to Florida, then all you have to deal with is Florida. It's Florida, man. And skeeters. Yeah. I'll just visit Florida. That's cool. I'll come to Disney World. And I'll visit. I'll come back up here to Maryland. Man, the humidity down there, I just nah, I'm good. Carlo Castro says, LOL, earthquake is like rare, wildfires not so much. Yeah, and that's the thing. The wildfires I can't get down with, man. Super said, I live in Indiana. Sometime next year, supposed to have sometime next we're supposed to have a high of -9. Yeah, fuck that. No sir. Dwidget, that's definitely better than here in Florida. Yeah, dude. Dwidget, LOL. Whereabouts in Florida yet? Rex Smith, the deep south roads are terrible. Crossing into Louisiana from Texas is terrible as far as roads are concerned. Mississippi, even worse. Yeah, Alabama's the same way, brother. And it's funny because Pennsylvania doesn't have high taxes either. And it's a running joke because I live in the northeastern corner of Maryland, just kind of, we live one county over from Baltimore. So we basically drive 45 minutes north, and that's the Mason-Dixon line between the border between Pennsylvania and Maryland, right? So as soon as you cross the fucking border, you go from asphalt roads to damn concrete roads. Now, for those of you that don't know the difference, asphalt roads hold up very, very well. Concrete roads, not so much, especially in cold weather and the shifting temperatures and things, right? Asphalt expands and contracts with the temperature changes. Concrete, not so much. They crack and they split and they cause potholes. Asphalt kind of does that too, but to a lesser extent. But you can always tell the difference because it is a hard cutoff between the asphalt and the concrete, and you know the difference because you're just driving along, and then in Pennsylvania, nah, hard pass. Hard pass. Let's see. Rex Smith, I live in San Antonio. I just bounce around to Florida from time to time. Nice. Dwidget says, snow removal, what's that? Sorvon, where do you live? You live in someplace warm, don't you? Dwidget says, oh, nice. Yeah. But here in the winter, yeah, we get our money's worth in terms of taxes, so I really don't mind paying them. I don't mind at all. You know, and like I said, when my wife got laid off from the job that we specifically moved down there for, in addition to for me to being close to my office, they laid her off 2 months after we got down there, which was shitty. And then the job market was so bad down there that she couldn't even find a job for pretty much the entire length that we were there still. Like, so for another 2 years, she couldn't find a comparable job, which sucked. And she looked in North Alabama, South Alabama, Mississippi. She looked over in Georgia, Atlanta area, even down the panhandle of Florida. She was looking for jobs, and she couldn't find jack shit. But again, it was a worse off time down when we were down there. We're better off, obviously, as a economy now. The job market's obviously a lot better and stuff too. So comparables. So it is what it is. Sorvon says Missouri, they didn't even treat the main road here when it had an inch of ice. What? Damn, dude. HR 148 says it's actually freezing here in Miami. What? It's wait. Time out. It's freezing in Miami? That's crazy. That is crazy, man. Dwidget says, I say take a visit to the Arctic. It's real nice all year round. Yeah, Jesus. Rex Smith, it's the same way from Texas to Louisiana. It goes from pretty smooth driving to driving on a washboard as soon as you hit the state border. Yeah. Sorvon says, the only snow removal we get is the sun. Oh, that sucks, man. I don't know a lot about Missouri. Do you guys get a lot of snow in the winter? I don't know. Oh, HR. Oh, okay. HR 148. I see what you did there. It's freezing. It's 60 degrees down there. I see what you got. I see what you did there. It's good though. That's good though. George says I'm over here on the Gulf Coast side and it's currently 50. Perfect and cozy. Yeah. I wish it was 50 or 60 here in Maryland right now, man. It's currently what, like 20 degrees outside right now, probably. 23 degrees outside. A balmy 23 degrees. Sweet. Sorvon Zero says sometimes for that snow removal. Yeah. William Wilms says, I wish I was back home in Missouri when they got a foot of snow. I would have been living it up. Nice. Yeah, see, William is stationed over, you're stationed over there in the Pacific, aren't you, Will? I know you, I had to send it to the, your, APO box. And, yeah, I thought I was pretty sure the abbreviation was, the Pacific. Right there. Dwidget says, I'd be out doing donuts in the parking lot if I were you, Tim. Dude, nah. I don't get crazy like that, man. I don't get crazy like that. I would much rather get crazy inside where it's warm than outside where it's just cold and disgusting. That's just me. Oh, man. William says, I'm an hour train ride from Odaiba and Akihabara. What? Dude, that's awesome, man. Well, I guess it's kind of awesome. I don't know if it's awesome or not, but okay, it sounds awesome. Man. Mikkel says 25 degrees here in New York. Man, yeah, but you guys are on a heat island, man. All the damn buildings and concrete and everything. I'm here in suburban Maryland where, yeah, it's cold. It's chilly. HR148 says, yeah, I'm enjoying the cold weather as much as I can until the nice 90+ summer. Yeah, it is fucking hot down there, and the humidity. Blech. Now, mind you, in Maryland we get hot and humid too, but not as humid as it gets down in Florida. You guys would be surprised. It hits 90s, triple digits, with 100% humidity here in Maryland almost the entire summer. It gets nasty here in Maryland, and we go from extremes, right? So we have cold winters, we have hot summers, but the fall and the spring, beautiful, just gorgeous weather. And that's what a Marylander lives for, is those two seasons. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But let's see. Dwidget says, perfect way to learn stick too. Right? Gary Gumpa. Oh, that's awesome. Dwidget says, William Ewan Atsugishi. Mikkel says, I'm in Long Island in their suburbs. Yeah, but you're still damn close to that heat island, dude. William says, Akiruno. It is awesome living out here. There we go. It sounded awesome. It sounded awesome. I mean, Japan is just... If you guys have the opportunity, I do highly suggest going to Japan. I do. Mikkel says 3 houses away from the water. Oh, so you're getting the warm air from the water then. Don't make excuses to me, Mikkel. Don't make excuses to me. All right. So check this out, guys. We got good spacing on this. I love that. Dig it. Dig it. Twitch says, oh nice, I was stationed at the Atsugi Air Base there in Japan, not your immediate area. Nice. That's awesome. See, and I think that being stationed over there in Japan might just be kind of like almost like the perfect balance, because you're when you're at home, you're surrounded by your countrymen, Americans, but then you can venture out into Japan proper, and really experience the culture and everything Japan has to offer. I think that would be amazing. I think that would be absolutely amazing. Let's see. Julius Dembski, Japan is on my bucket list. Brother, do it. You've got to. Just save up. I don't care what you do. Save up money. And man, yeah, just get over there for like a week or two and just experience everything. It's amazing. Gary Gumpa planning next year's trip to Japan. Awesome. Ultraman Dyna, give me a paid trip to anywhere in the world and I will choose Japan every time. Nice. Rex Smith says, you Marylanders got some good crab cakes, though. That's something to be grateful for. Yes. You do have a very good point there, Rex. We do have wonderful, wonderful crab cakes. And even just sitting down in the summer, just picking blue crab is a Maryland tradition, right? And it's funny, you see people visiting from outside of Maryland where they're not used to picking through a blue crab, because a blue crab is much different from, say, a lobster or whatever kind of shellfish. It's much more complex inside. It's just funny watching people try to manhandle these things and just hammer the shit out of them with the little wooden mallets and everything. It's fun, but yeah, we got good crab cakes. So I am very thankful for that. Mikkel says, I want to see how you are going to angle that thruster on the shoulder. Oh, dude, we're not. So I showed that I showed that a little bit before. So with the line art, so you've got two angles, right, Mikkel? So this is the line art, and you're looking basically three-quarter view looking down at it, right? But then you have this view, which is basically the same three-quarter view, but looking up at it. And see, now you can see the full vent here, where here you can only see maybe about a quarter of it. So if you're looking parallel at it, split the difference, and half of that vent is pretty much going to be covered by that angled overhang, right? So that's what we're going to be doing. So, yeah. Jeremy Chow, Scott's Scott's cheap flights had a round trip for about $300. Yeah. But see, Jeremy, the one thing that you got to take into consideration is that you're on the other side of the country. You're much closer to Japan than I am, brother. I'm on the opposite side of the country. I probably couldn't be farther away from Japan. Maybe if I lived in Maine or someplace in South America or someplace. I don't know. It was so much fun. There was this club called Staying Alive that I frequented. Was it a disco club? They played the Bee Gees nonstop? I bet they did. Rex Smith says, we got crawfish boils down here. Those are good. I want to try one of those. Yeah. Jeremy Jow, yeah, I guess I could swim there, right? Oh, man. That's good. Jeremy, how's your wife, man? How is she doing? I saw some pictures recently of you guys, and looks like she's doing pretty good. I hope so. Ooh, dropped it. All right. So let's square this up here. Square this edge completely. Now we've got a nice edge to work with. Getting better. Awesome. Please tell her I was asking about her. All right. Dwidget says, haha, they had some beetles too. Oh, nice. And Mikkel says, oh, okay, from what I have seen on the resin conversion, it's angled down. Yeah, and that resin kit that you're talking about is fugly. Like, fugly. Like, straight fucking ugly, right? Superset 5. All right, I'm out. Good night, everyone. Superset, thank you for watching. Come on back and hang out with us again. Jeremy Jow, she'll appreciate it. Thanks, brother. Dude, my pleasure. My pleasure. Yeah, going back to Mikkel. Yeah, that resin conversion that you're talking about is just, it's super terrible. And I have pictures of it somewhere. Not around closely. Yeah, it's ugly. It's very bad, and they cut so many corners on that thing. The head isn't even reshaped. Like, if you look at the Sniper 2 head, the normal Sniper 2 head, that's what it looks like, right? It's got the mohawk. Bandai didn't put the mohawk on there. They just put kind of like a smooth, curved kind of angular sort of head on it, right? With the resin conversion, they didn't fix that. They kept that ugly ass rounded head. Here's what it's supposed to look like, right? They cut mad corners. And there's mine. Much closer to that, right? Now, the geometry on the GM Sniper 2 is much different from this line art, unfortunately, right? So you do have to take creative license with a lot of the geometry, and that's unfortunately what I had to do with the excuse me, with the head here, right? I had to strike a balance between what I was, the geometry. Come on, focus, damn it. There we go. I had to take, some license to what could be done versus what it was supposed to look like there. The head that I have on here is longer depth-wise than what this looks like. This looks like a squattier head, kind of crunched in this way. But unless I wanted to completely scratch build the head, then you have to take creative license. But yeah, they didn't even fix that. The one hallmark of the GM Spartan is the iconic head from that looks kind of like Master Chief almost, and they didn't even do that right. So that's why I say, yeah, that resin conversion for this GM Spartan is just poo-poo, super ugly. Carlo Castro says, all right, everyone, gotta catch Z's. I will catch up tomorrow. Good night, Carlo. Thank you for watching, brother. Gary, same to me too. Good night, all. Tim, thanks again. Thank you, Gary, for watching. Come on back and hang out with us again. Scuffle over there, he's watching on Twitch now. Z Cuffle. Oh my God, you're still streaming. Yeah, man, we are still streaming. At 1:39 in the morning, my time. Yeah, we've gone, what, 3 hours and 40 minutes? We'll probably end up pretty soon here because I think Facebook's going to cut me off at 4 hours anyway, so what are you going to do? Rex Smith, sorry if this got answered earlier, but you got to be closing in on finishing your Jesta build, right? So looking forward to seeing the completed build. Yes, Rex, I am, and we did actually touch base on that a little bit earlier, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, so I've got some loose ends to tie up on the base, and so once I get those done, I hopefully should be able to probably release it or release it in sometime next week. So by this time next week, you'll probably have seen it. So that's the plan anyway. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's the goal. So yeah. Mikkel says, I see what you're doing. Pretty close to the line art. Yeah. You gotta, like I said, you gotta take your pros and cons with the geometry for this kit, because a lot of it is much different from that line art. So you got to do what you got to do. Dwidge says, y'all could try justfly.com. Maybe that can help. Oh, for flights to Japan? Yeah. Mikkel says, that backpack is going to be fun to do. Yeah, the backpack I don't see as being all that hard because it's blocks and stuff like that. And then that kind of half-round sort of middle container. I already did that shape sort of like on the Jesta, the drop pack on the Jesta, right? So that I think that I've already overcome that hurdle, but the other two blocks around it I don't think should be all that difficult. So Scufflehead is looking great. Thank you, man. He also says, I had to step away because my other friend was streaming too. LOL. It's all good, dude. Jeremy Jow, I'm out. Have a great night. Also, thanks for the Taobao walkthrough the other night. You're welcome, Jeremy. Hey, give your best to my family, brother. Thank you for watching. You know what, guys? I think I'm going to tie it up here, too. Let's go back to one camera because everybody's kind of dropping off, and I'm getting tired. We had a good run tonight. We went long, almost 4 hours tonight streaming. Look at that. We went so long, that turned off by itself. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Hey, we're going to be back here on Monday. And like I said, I'm going to try to bust my butt this weekend trying to finish up this Jester. It's sitting right over here, by the way. Y'all can't see that. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get it done, most of it done this weekend, and we'll see what next week brings. But like I said, I hope to release it full on next week in all of its glory. So I think you guys will like it. I'm pretty psyched about it. So, all right, boys and girls. So, hey, Travis Gopal over there on Facebook. Thanks for the stream, Tim. Always learning new things from you. Thank you for watching, Travis. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the kind words. Boys and girls, thank you for watching. If you want to pick up a cool-ass White Dingoes tee, why don't you go after the stream, hit up chadamecha.com, hit the store button up at the top. You'll see hats and bags and cool shirts. All that stuff on there. Buy some if you'd like. They're pretty awesome. And also, if you want to see some of the tools and stuff like that we worked with tonight, the Olfa knives, the Bastard file, all that good stuff, hey, hit up the link below, the Amazon link down underneath here on the description, and Facebook, and also on the description thingy on Twitch. Over on this side, if you're watching on Facebook, it's over there in the description. Hit that up. You'll see all the tools and stuff we used here tonight, the materials and everything. You'll find camera gear for streaming if you're into that, and also books if you need some inspiration, some really good mech style books. Aside from that, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Have a safe weekend. Stay warm if you're in the cold. Stay cool if you're in the warm. And I'll see you guys on Monday, all right? Take care, guys. Be safe. Bye.